Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for a special edition of the eye test. Situations and circumstances have necessitated this special broadcast from the palatial studios of the eye test. To Winston Thornton, who will be joining me in a moment, Eric Parker, welcome in. C-Dub, yes, you do need to come on. Everybody needs to join me because tonight we got to talk about some stuff. We really got to talk about some stuff. We've made it to a point where there are no words. No matter what it is. Oh, I see Winston here. No matter what it is that we do, no matter what it is that I say, we've got to handle some business. We got to talk about some stuff. And I have just posted the eye test, the StreamYard, for anyone who wants to join me tonight in discussing this. Keely, thank you.
Yo.
Boss man. Oh, hey, man, hold up. I'm just, you know what? When you're a professional drinker, you can tell what somebody pouring in a glass just by the sound of it.
By the sizzle. you got to learn the sizzle.
you know, and that didn't sound like no Hawaiian punch or no Kool-Aid. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, at this point, man.
Oh, okay, all right.
A2O won't gonna get in through the front door. Not tonight. Not now. Now we're gonna have them later.
Yeah. See, yeah, I know now. I can see by the color of the liquid in the glass.
It's apple juice. YouTube is apple juice.
Yeah. Oh, Uncle Steve Lowndes on there. DR9, that's my quarterback. Oh boy. See, you know, Uncle Steve. We have had people come on.
Parker, what's going on?
All right. Hey, yeah, Keely, if you can, come on in. Everybody. I got
what's going on?
8 more spaces. Got 8 more spaces. And man, tonight is a unburdening night. It is a therapy night. It is a discussion night. Now, I'm a little bit under the weather because I don't know. I caught something and my voice isn't as strong as it usually would be. So I'm going to have to concentrate on talking from my diaphragm. You know how they, when you're singing, they tell you not to be, they tell you to bring it from down here. Bring it from down here. Bring it up. And that's what I'm doing.
You gotta learn, man. You can't go to Mad City in the wintertime, man. That's a spring, summer to fall time event right there. Can't go in the wintertime. Can't everybody be in them butt naked? Come on now.
Now look,
what you say?
Now, I thought the wintertime was the best time because see, if somebody gets a chance to sit, hold on, let me bring us another guest. Yeah. We are joined by our other admin, Mr.
Happy. Single sellout. What's going on?
How y'all doing this evening, fellas?
Welcome in, sir.
It's like as always,
I'm hesitant to call him by that name right there because I
I
have nowhere
want.
to hide.
I have no connections to Mexico.
YouTube. We have no affiliation.
We have no affiliation.
Uh,
We're not part of a
Mexico.
cartel.
Look, Mexico was not the country that I was concerned
Oh,
about.
Colombia. Okay.
No, Sicily.
Oh, okay. No, we have no.
Sicily. Cause see,
We're
hey, they already told me where the real power was.
we're not on that TM 101. No Young Jeezy. We're just some Falcon fans. I just had a point to prove with the whole sellout thing. I just felt like if I was gonna be called one, I might well be the biggest one. So that was my thought process on it.
And well, speaking of that, I read in the Bird Gang group that the stone thrower, the accuser, the labeler, the name caller has left the group.
Got out of Dodge.
I don't know. I don't want to speculate on why. Hope the young man is okay. Hope it isn't for a duck and hide kind of thing, but I don't want to speculate. But
Well, I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. I'm reminded of a time when we were winning games and we were sitting there saying, for a numerous amount of the fan base was sitting, well, not even a large numerous amount, a select few of the fan base was sitting there saying, hey, we're winning games, but it's not because of Ritter. And everybody kept saying, hey, you're winning game, that should be enough. Well, if I got a quarterback and he's the most important position in North American sports and he's not contributing to these wins, then how is that enough?
Yeah.
And the label came out. Sellout. You're a sellout. You're an out of towner. You're a sellout. You don't really like the Falcons. You're a sellout. How the hell did anybody sit there and claim the Atlanta Falcons as their team and they're a sellout? That's a complete oxymoron. How can they even be in the same sentence? It's not congruent. I can't be a Falcon fan and be a sellout because what the hell am I selling out for? We haven't won anything.
Cause I'm asking, who have we sold out to?
Exactly. So I'm talking my shit in the Falcon group, and then what I'm going to go champ it up with New England and Kansas City. Is that what I sold out to or something? To be a sellout? Oh no, because I'm out of town. I live in Virginia, so I can't be as much of a fan as a Georgia-born fan of Atlanta Falcons.
I think we just love football, and the thing is, Shannon Sharp made a statement. He said, "Never accept anything in a win that you wouldn't accept in a loss."
Exactly. You practice how you play.
He said, "Never accept anything in a win that you would not accept in a loss," and that is just the mindset we had. We was like, "Oh, this is gonna be a problem in the future. Oh, this is gonna be an issue. Oh, that defense saved us this time, but that's gonna be an issue. We gotta get that fixed." And that just comes from a desire to want to see our team be better and want to see them win. But we'll call all kind of names for it. I mean, to me, it is what it is. Like, I wasn't mad about it, but it was just kind of annoying. But with that moniker, I was just like, hey, I might as well just run with it.
Hey, Keely, do you remember that whole interview when Shannon Sharp sat in and said what his coach told him?
You said what? When he said what?
I said, did you remember that whole interview? When Shannon Sharp, when he first sat and said that his coach told him don't never accept what you
it
will.
Was recent too. I'm trying to remember the whole thing. It's just that it stuck out. I forgot the whole interview. It was on First Take though.
I tell you.
Okay.
Shannon Sharp at the time was coming off his biggest game. He had like 8 or 10 catches for like 180 some yards and like 2-3 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
And he said when he went in the back, when he went into the locker room, whatever, and the coach told him, "Hey, I want to highlight." He was like, "Man, I thought the coach was gonna give me, some praise for what I just did out on the field." And he said he went in the coach's office, and the coaches started talking. And he was sitting there like, "Hey, look, let me show you this play. Shannon messed up a route. Let me show you this play. He missed a block. Let me show you this play. He's supposed to chip in, release there, but he didn't go there. He went AWOL." And he said, and he said, he was like, "Man, my coach said that and told me." He was like, "Look, never accept anything in a win that you would not accept in a loss."
Yeah, he did
And he
bring
was
up
like,
that
"That's
game
stuck
when he
with me
said that.
throughout the rest of my career." And from that moment forward, I always put my best foot forward to be the best I can be at all time. Whether we win, lose, or draw, they can never sit there and come back to me and sit and say that I didn't give my everything to it.
Yeah.
And he said that's how I got to the Hall of Fame.
I'm just pointing because I know that'll make y'all stop talking. I just, oh man, gentlemen. Okay, well let me read the comments that we have in here now. And Uncle Steve is participating a little bit here now. He's saluting you, Keely, and he's asking whether you're going to the game Sunday.
I'll tell him I'll be there.
Well, no, hey, you can tell him he's looking right at you.
Oh, okay.
He at work.
The camera's on
work.
you,
Sneaking,
Uncle Steve,
watching.
I'll definitely be there. Let's grab a drink.
Oh, you just a glutton for punishment, aren't you?
Well, I mean, though, as what's left, man. It is what it is.
And see, Winston, I started to come up there anyway. I had plotted. I had got me a garbage bag and cut a hole in it. I had my thermals on. I was getting ready to get a hotel. I started to come up there. I was gonna sneak up on you. I started to come up there. And see, the bad part about it, I said, now, if I go up there and these jokers lose and I catch a cold, I'm going down there in the locker room. I knew that's what was going to happen, but I didn't go because I started to feel this little twitch, a little tingle in my throat. And I said, nah, I better not.
Yeah, it was called common sense.
Yeah, but hey, man, my truck had started itself up by itself. So I was about to get on the way. And the thing was that I just couldn't justify it. Even at 50 cents a ticket, I couldn't justify it.
Yeah, see, when the old lady, because that was one of my Christmas gifts. When she got the ticket, that was way before they dropped it on the 45 cents. We was out there, we were coming out of the mall. She was like, "Babe, you want one of your Christmas gifts?" All right. That was like almost 2 weeks before it. Then I sit there and look. I'm sitting there scrolling through the internet streets, and I sit there see 45 cents. Oh, hold on. Get a refund. It just ain't work out like that. But man, that shit was fucking depressing. I ain't even gonna lie to you. That was depressing, man.
All right, so how bad were the weather conditions?
I put it to you like that. All right, so from Richmond down there is, I'm gonna tell you the exact time. It's 4 hours and 12 minutes. From where I live at to their stadium. 4 hours and 12 minutes. So I get on the road. I get maybe about like an hour and 37 minutes, 38 minutes. Start sprinkling. 5 minutes beyond that, it starts pouring. And I mean, like it's throwing rain now. I'm talking about like windshield wiper all the way up, throwing rain. Keep going. Stop, get some more gas and stuff. Get some snacks and shit. You know what I'm saying? Get up there. Go walk into it. When I get to the stadium, right? All right, so because when we bought the ticket, it came with a parking pad, but it was supposed to be like this like little dirt parking lot. Like right, if you come out of the stadium, if you come out of the main entrance of the stadium off to the left. But the police had that jump blocked off. All right, fuck it. So we ride around and find another spot. All right, a little parking deck. Come out the jump. Go in there. Like when you go in there, like this is how you know it's a bad situation. When you stand in the line to go into the stadium, but the line isn't that long, it's double-sided, but like it's literally like maybe like 13 yards worth of people trying to go in on a double-sided line to go into the stadium. You go in the stadium, man. When you walk into the stadium, look, you see tumbleweed rolling on down the jump. I'm telling you, ain't nobody there. Man, you got people, you got employees, vendors and stuff. They sitting off to the side. They sitting there smoking cigarettes and stuff. This will be selling, you know how they have like the little beer chests and stuff on the chair. Like, ain't nobody worry about it because there ain't nobody there. We go up in a jump, and like when you open it, and like the way their stadium is set up, it's an actual bowl. Yeah. There's no awning over the top. It's straight element. You know what I'm saying?
No protection.
Huh? Yeah.
No protection.
No protection. Like, you have field level, deck, and then upper deck. But upper deck doesn't even have like a section. Like when you walk out from field level, you can look up, and it's literally like this. There's no awning over anything. You're just out there. So whatever it is every day, you're a part of it. And like you see, and then like where we was at, we was like literally right there behind the team. Right there behind the team. Where B John was sitting there playing catch with the little boy, it was like off to my left, further down toward the end zone.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw B John was throwing the ball back and forth with
Arthur said the weather affected the play calling pretty much. So like on that fourth down decision to not kick where they went for it, he was like, because he didn't want to put Cool in that situation to make that kick against the wind. And then he said that Jonnu pass, they waited till the wind was at their back in order to pull that pass out. And I was just trying to figure out how bad were the conditions where it affected the play calling and everything.
All right. So,
hey, hold on, Winston. Hold on. Let me read these comments right quick, and I want you to get back to your story. Hold what you got right there. I want to read these comments before we get too far behind. And Uncle Steve Lown with 330 saying, Uncle Steve Lown, he's saluting Uncle Steve, and Uncle Steve saying, I like the guy you were talking about. I can appreciate his passion for the Falcons, but if you bring that energy to folks, you got to be able to take it in hard times. He talking about your boy. Yeah. And then 330, he's saluting 330. And C Dub is in the backstage there, and 330 says, I'm standing on logo business. I'm not distracted, nor has my fandom been changed. I'll be there Sunday. Mike Geiger salutes us, says, good evening. 330. He says tickets for Sunday in my section are $45 today and dropping.
Oh, have mercy, man.
Okay. Uncle Steve says, I'll be there. Well, Uncle Steve kind of committed to the payoff there. I think he might still be a.
They already paid for it, so it's either use them or lose them.
Yeah. I mean, shoot, you sell them, you lose them.
Hey, I would love to sell them if I could, but I can't.
Yeah. C Double said, I have been to a Falcons game on Christmas Eve. He said I wouldn't do that again. And he also said, sad part, it was the Panthers that beat us. 330 is holding out faith any given Sunday. And C Double said it was Vic. Let me see, it was when Vic last year with the Falcons, I guess it was that he went. Uncle Steve Lounge says that I think the weather was worse when I went to MetLife a couple of weeks ago for that Jets game. Never stopped raining, very windy and cold. So continue with your story, Winston. I want to hear that about that atmosphere and what was going on up there.
So all right. So you know how like it never stopped raining. It did the same thing in Carolina. It never stopped raining. It slowed down raining, but it was only for like short spurts. You know what I'm saying? But it never stopped raining. But like when it was raining, you could feel it. Like you could feel it. You could feel it slapping against your back. You know what I'm saying? And then like the wind was whipping around in it. Because like the way the stadium is built, you have the actual, field, and then it shoots up, and then it's like a little slight curve. All right, like those little bowls. There's like they big at the top, and then they got like a little smaller section at the bottom, and then you got the bottom of it. That's how their stadium is built. So if you shoot, like if you get like an air compressor gun, and you shoot wind in at one of them corners from the top end, it's gonna swirl, and it's gonna make it like a mini like cyclone effect.
I got you.
You
So
know
you're saying that the shape of the stadium played a part in making it a little bit extra windy?
Yeah, because like the stadium antiquated, even though they just came out of the team in like 98 or early 90s, something like that. You know what I'm saying? But it's antiquated. There's no updates to the stadium. It's just it is what it is. It's better than the Commander Stadium.
Oh,
let me ask you, Winston. Now,
I mean, everybody.
Yeah, that's
okay. Now, let me ask you this, Winston. Did that wind grab? I'm trying to think. Koo missed the kick in there, right?
No, Koo didn't kick. He only had the point after. We only had 7.
Okay. All right. And he didn't miss a field goal in there. Did he miss a field goal in there Sunday? I'm trying to remember.
No,
he didn't attempt one.
He didn't even attempt one. Okay.
He didn't get a shot.
Okay.
I mean, look. I put it to you like that. The weather in the stadium was wet, and the wind was whipping, but the wind wasn't whipping enough to affect what you need to get done. Like if you needed to make a pass, you got to throw a little extra mustard on it to cut through the wind.
Mm-hmm.
You needed to make a kick, you got to put a little extra leg into it to get it where you wanted to go.
So okay. So right there where Ritter threw that interception.
That's Ritter.
Well, hey, sit that to the side. What I'm asking is that if Koo had attempted the kick from where that play started, the wind would have had no effect on making that kick.
I mean,
that
play at the 20.
I think it started around about the 11, didn't it?
It was like at the 19. We were just in the red zone. It was like around the 2019.
With a kick, you gotta add on. You gotta tack on like 13 yards.
Yeah, because
you know what I'm saying. So it would have been like around the 20, 23. So I don't. Me personally, I don't think the wind was whipping hard enough to blow his kickoff line. He could.
You're saying from where he hiked the ball on that interception. You're saying from that distance, right?
Yes.
So I think, like he said, it was around like the 20. I think we had just got in the red zone, so it was around the 19-yard line, if I remember correctly. And then you got to account for the extra yardage of the end zone. Yeah, so that would have been like a 30.
10, 29, and then like what? He back up like another what?
Yeah, you're right. And then he back up another.
So it would have been like a 40-something yard kick. But I mean, he be. But the whole thing is, I think the faith on the long kick because of what Koo did last week on those 2 50-yard kick.
I don't know if his health was a factor, but keep in mind he was a game day decision to play.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Like his back was fucked up.
No, it wasn't his back. They said he was sick.
He was sick. Yeah, sick in the head. Either sick in the head or sick of Desmond Ritter. One of the two. But man,
But I
from
want to.
From that distance, I think he could have easily nailed it.
Yeah,
but
I
at
think he
the
would
same
have got
time,
it.
if your kicker just came off of taking that loss the way we took, you know what I'm saying, and he had missed those kicks, did you really want to try them back out there to try to attempt this in these weather where he's feeling bad and further mess up his confidence? Seeing that he's the most consistent player outside of Jesse Bates, he's the most consistent player on this Falcon team this year.
He's the MVP of the offense.
Okay. Well, before I say anything, I'd like to welcome in C-Dub and our weekly special guest star.
What's going on, Yellow?
Man, no shades either. Woo! This
Red.
is a rough night for Red.
To the chat.
Man, that's my own, man. What's going on, bro?
Look like a light-skinned Snoop.
Red.
Without his glasses, he do.
Yeah, man. Red, can you hear us?
Can you hear us, Red?
Red.
No, Red froze up. He froze up.
Oh.
Well, I guess we can continue to talk about him like a dog then.
He can't say nothing.
When they quiet, ain't no telling what's being cooked up.
Oh, you better bet it. That motherfucker slick.
Now, okay. Now, all right. Now, let me ask this question. If now we found out after the game that play was supposed to be a quarterback keeper. All right.
Oh, okay.
Had he slid where he was, and down the ball there, could you try a field goal from that spot? So that now he threw the ball at the 6. The interception took place at the 2 or the 3.
Now he threw the ball from like the 14. The yardage marker was like around like the 9.
Hold on, let me you know what? See, I don't want to risk cutting the TV back on because I know my signal.
Hold on, I can pull up. Hold on, give me an answer.
So when I saw it, and keep in mind this is off memory, I thought they were on the 19. What happened was number 98 for the Panthers. The minute your boy Bijan went into motion, he took off.
Okay,
so he was in the backfield. And the other thing I noticed was that Hodge was coming on a motion under the line, behind the line of scrimmage. And Derek Brown blew up our center and pushed our center into Hodge while he was in motion. So whatever Hodge was supposed to do to come in under that route as far as the run, like he was gone. He was thrown off that play because of Derek Brown. Your boy Ritter, he bailed out, backed up, and then ran left to the sideline. And he decided he wanted to make a play. And I guess for like 2 minutes, he thought he was Mahomes and could make the throw. But his body told him, no, you're not Mahomes, you're Ritter. And the ball went the other way. The funny thing with Brian Burns in the post-game interview, he was like, he sat there like he's not finna throw this ball. Like that was his statement in the post-game conference. Like he looked at Ritter like he's not going to throw this ball, and he threw the ball.
All right, real quick, I wanted to get it was 2nd and 10 on Carolina's 18. So Ritter throws the ball, and Xavier Woods catches the ball at Carolina's 5 for a 2-yard return. So yeah, Winston, you said 3 yards. So yeah, that's about right. So yeah, it would be. So if it was at 18, and let's say it was a quarterback keeper, Yeah, he could have made the field goal. That's not a out of the question field goals, even in those conditions.
But see though, let me ask you a question.
Yeah, I'm just
What
go ahead.
what situation does that remind you of? Because I'm reminded of a time way back in 2016 that was awfully familiar.
Go on, because it kind of reminds me of a couple of situations. Probably
Near the
around
ball.
Yeah.
Near the ball.
Well, or look, well, hold on, because he had like 7 minutes and 44 seconds.
Yeah,
but what I'm saying, he
It
could have
doesn't
just
matter.
taken the sack.
You already see how your defense is
Yeah,
playing. You
yeah.
already see how your defense is holding.
All right, now we got red moving.
I can understand someone trying to push for the touchdown, but at the same time, man, get out there with a win. Stop overthinking the shit.
At
that point, it was pouring down raining. It was pouring down raining at that point. Why are you throwing the ball?
And you was there while it was raining too.
Yeah,
I was
and now
all the rain.
I mean, Winston, my thing is this: at that point, try to just run the ball, because if you would score a field goal, they got to score 6. That you're making it, make it hard for them to score. Yeah.
I think where I fault Arthur Smith, even though he didn't call a pass play, where I do fault him is that I think even in his attempt to run the ball, he may have gotten cute. I think just tell Algier, hey, get in the backfield. There you go.
Free.
Move forward. If we don't make it, we're kicking the kick. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just put out, that's kind of the benefit of having Algier. I mean, it seems like he's kind of more suited for that. Just
for that type of game.
Yeah.
I mean, they had him in the start of the game running.
Yeah, he got the very first play.
Yeah.
Algier got the first carry.
I want to know why Algier ain't our primary back, period.
To me, I was sorry.
Because we decided to draft somebody at 8.
For this season, I would have started Algier, and I would have had Bijan as the change of pace back.
Right. He got earned no playing time.
That's what I did. That's what I would have do anyway. I would have started Algier, because you could get tired of sitting there trying to meet this 235. You can get tired of it.
What's up, John?
235 running 4.5. You can get tired of
trying to
game long. And then as soon as you get tired of trying to tackle that, I'm gonna come right behind it with 225 with B-jump. And then when you get tired of that, I'm gonna come right behind that with 232 with CP. You're going to get tired of it. But when you sit there, when you sit there chasing someone laterally instead of meeting them head up, you conserving energy. And that's what his offense is bogging down at. If all I got to do is chase you and trip you up, I'm not wasting a lot of energy. But if I got to run head up with you every time after time, I'm gonna get tired. You can get tired. But I got more reserves. I got more reserves behind you on the offense than you have on defense.
Sorry, we were duetting again.
Now, okay. Something else I'm going to throw into the mix. That particular play had all of the wide receivers coming to that left side. So you draw defense by play design over to that side.
To the short side of the field.
So you had 3 receivers, tight end, 2 receivers coming over to that left side. So you had coverage on everything coming that way.
No, it was one guy that was wide open.
Yeah.
Drake.
It was Drake.
London?
It was Drake. Drake was wide open.
The guy he been chasing all season long, like he wanted to be his prom date. You don't looking for him this one time?
Well, no. The boy made the most accurate throw. Problem was he became colorblind like Tim Tebow, like his mentor, and threw it right at the numbers. Problem was it was at Xavier Woods and not Drake London. He really got
Drake is by him. Drake was by himself.
Yeah, that's the sad part.
Well, Drake
Hold on.
caught that ball, turned
But hold
around,
on.
and took 2 steps and been in the end zone before
But-
anybody would even like the who was it? I want to say it was CP behind him. It was either CP or Pruitt behind him.
This is an Arthur Smith run or a play. It could have been everybody that was behind him.
And here's another thing that's funny about that particular play. There's another Panther defender right behind Woods. So even if Woods wouldn't have caught it, it would still probably would have been intercepted because there's another Panther player right behind him.
Yeah, true.
They were like, "We're ready for this."
And Drake London is in his field of view. Like, so let's say I'm right here. He threw it this way. Drake London was right there, like dead in front of his face. Wide
like you got to be cross-eyed or beady-eyed not to see the damn play.
Look, Desmond Ritter channeled Carlton.
Go ahead.
Desmond Ritter channeled Carlton from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, that episode where he shoved Prince, took the basketball and just threw it and missed it by a mile. Well, he had the ball and he said, "What's what I can do?" Went to throw it. Problem was it went straight to what was it? Xavier Woods. But then he goes in the press conference
and say
and he's going, "We need to not throw the ball in those bad places." Desmond.
I made a post on that either last night or earlier today.
I need to find it. But when that man said "we," I wish the whole defense and the receivers would have ran into that press conference room, slapped him, and then go, "Who's we? You threw the ball, dummy."
They should have slapped him like John Chaney wanted to do Calipari at that press conference all the years ago.
Yeah, you have Calais Campbell going, "Let me at him.
Yeah. Now.
Yeah, go ahead, John.
All right. After all that we have discussed here, after all that we've talked about here,
I missed a few of the discussion.
Don't worry, you can probably catch up, Red.
Hey, Red. Now, you know enough. But the thing is here that I'm going to bring up, and I know you saw it, Red, El Jefe, and C-Dub. I know y'all saw it. If it wasn't in the Bird game, it was in the eye test. Might have been on Chauncey's page, but various people were blaming the defense for the loss.
Yeah, I did see that.
Yeah, I did see that too. Look, they kicked 3 field goals on our defense. I'm just saying, if we would at least kick that field goal and then they drive on us and score a touchdown, then if you want to blame the defense, fine. I would have put it on the whole team because you should have mollywopped the Panthers. I mean, you're 2 different teams at this point. Problem is, and I kept saying this. Yeah, exactly. But I kept saying, I did not like how we were walking into this game. I just had an Arizona Cardinal feel to it. That the guys were just going to go through the motions. And that's another problem that we're having. This schedule, and I know people keep saying it was an easy schedule. They must have told the guys that so much to the point they just kept going to these fields and just walking in going, "We got this." And everyone going, "You the Falcons, you ain't got nothing." Going back to the old question, someone calling us a sellout because we're Falcon fans. Well, first of all, Winston, you in Virginia, you can be a Falcon fan. It's cool. I ain't got a problem with it. I mean, first of all, for people to call us sellouts, what are we selling out to? We ain't won nothing. We're the jokes of the. Have you not seen what we have done? If you 28-3, if you've been a fan after 28-3, bro, that ain't selling out. That's just being there. Now you want to call us
And
you want to
the
call
main
us
folks
Harden?
call them sellouts, so the main ones you can't find today.
Yeah. Hold on. You want to call us Harden? Falcon fan? Yes, that's more appropriate.
Hey, Red, he left the group.
He ran away.
He left the group. Now, see, my thing is now, okay. Now, y'all know me in the Bird Gang group. Y'all know me in the Bird Gang group. And me and Keely done gone back and forth,
Keely's
about various
cool.
thing.
Keely,
And
I was
argued
trying
and
to add you to my
discussed.
page. I sent you a request. I guess you'll accept it in your own time.
Hey, Keely, I'll add you too if you look out for me, bro.
What now?
Now I was telling Keely I sent him a friend request. I finally found his ass. Oh, okay. I don't know. I ain't checked Facebook in so long, so you
See, get at me and didn't even know. You ready to get at me?
Hold on. This is Red we're talking about. I'll message Red, and I gotta go. This is C-Dub.
Red understand
You see how he throws stuff out there trying to blame somebody else, and he ain't even checked the page to see what
Hey, John, I'll message Red. I'll be like, hey, Red, when are we gonna do that show? And Red be like, who's this? Chris, who?
All right, hey, Red. Next contest you enter, I'm gonna send you a prize winning check. Don't check your mailbox. Hey, ignore your mailbox for about 20,
go ahead,
30 days, so the check ain't no good.
Go ahead every time they send us.
And then pull it out.
The next time we do a show,
see that dog gonna have everything about shit.
Hold on. Where Eric Parker right there, I think that's where he was looking. He was looking at CP.
Yeah.
Yo, and that's the worst part. That's the worst part. Like, bro, all right.
Poor John, he put his hands in his head.
Go ahead. We was on here the other night.
At the end of the game, right? I came back down to the bottom.
Excuse me.
Man, it was so empty. It was so empty. You know how security usually usher you and try to keep you in your area?
Yeah.
They didn't give a damn.
They're like, you know what? Come on down.
My good word. Me and the old lady sat there and walked all through the stadium. We were looking at it from different viewpoints. All around the stadium.
You should have got some of that. Yeah, you should have filmed some of that.
Winston, you should have walked up into the suites and be like, hey, I know Mr.
I didn't want to take my phone out so it was pouring there and raining.
You're right. My bad.
You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason I ain't take. But we came in there at the bottom, went up to the middle, went all the way over to the end zone, went back around, went over to the Carolina sideline. We're sitting over there for a little bit. Came over to the other end zone, went upstairs, went up to the upper bowl, sat up there. Because the game was just so damn boring.
It was definitely. It started out real
walking around the damn rainy stadium.
I have never seen a football game that boring.
Could you imagine if you watched a 3-0 game?
Bro,
that game was more exciting.
A 3-0 game? Who was it?
It was the Vikings. They beat the Raiders 3-0. And it's like
it was more exciting.
Yeah,
I bet it was. It
was more exciting than this game. I'm telling you.
I bet the Chargers getting blown out. It's been 63 points or more exciting.
The only highlight of the game was Ritter throwing an underthrow pass to Jonnu Smith. That he sat there and slowed down and waited for the ball to get. And for anybody sitting there say he threw a dime, that was not a dime. The man sat there and slowed the fuck down.
He threw a penny.
You trying to make
dime. Man, Ritter can't even throw a damn penny.
But that was not a dime. I'm sorry, that wasn't a dime. That was what would have been a touchdown. Now, if Johnny went on and scored a touchdown on that play, it might have set everything up. But he didn't. We didn't score a touchdown.
He missed another touchdown.
Yeah, he did.
So Van Jefferson was like a couple steps ahead. And what happened was he threw it short and to the left.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I did too.
I watched
that.
I noticed it when somebody brought it up in film, so I was watching it online. They
Oh
were
yeah, that's
showing
right.
the film.
They posted the play.
Guys,
And-
I call that the Van Jefferson pose. It's like every time you hear his name, damn, man.
But Jefferson was open, but I mean, he threw it inside and to the ground, so that was a touchdown. Van Jefferson had his guy by like 1 or 2 steps.
That's why his ass got benched.
Nah, that's what I'm saying. We
But
can't.
Just like that.
And you know, the thing is that like he wasn't having a terrible game like by his standards, but it's just that one play was just so egregious. It was just so bad because a field goal would have won the game.
Yeah.
And you took him out of scoring position. You choose to turn the ball over in the red zone, which is the worst time to turn it over. And on top of it, it wasn't even a pass play, but you decided to make a play. I'm not mad at his desire to make a play, but I remember someone talking about but no, I remember somebody talking about his confidence, and they was talking about like he has this unreal confidence. But his confidence doesn't match his talent because he tried to attempt a pass that only but so many quarterbacks have the talent to make. Like he's trying to make plays that he just doesn't have the arm talent to make. Like if that's Josh Allen, that ball probably not only goes to London because he can make the throw while running left.
London ass into the goddamn end zone.
but what I'm saying, if you're a right-handed quarterback, throwing the ball while running left isn't easy. You know what I'm saying?
No, we know, and that's why I think a lot of us are. Yeah.
He's trying to make big boy throws without the big boy talent. I applaud his confidence, but you're not that good to be like attempting that. You see what I'm saying?
That's why you can't applaud his confidence because his confidence is getting him to do stupid ass shit that he knows.
Yeah, misguided.
I'm just saying what coming out of the locker room they say about his confidence that he has great confidence in himself. I'm not saying I'm confident.
Okay.
The thing is, what has he seen from his work that gives him that great confidence?
Let's go with NBA.
I'll do the same thing.
Let's go with NBA.
Well, hold on, JOK. He got his finger.
John's got his finger up.
Let Winston go ahead. Let Winston go ahead because I got something.
Let's go with NBA. All right. You have a Michael Beasley.
Okay.
Who that is?
He's a basketball player. He's talking NBA real quick.
Small former top 5 pick.
He's nice. He just
number 2 pick, right?
But Michael Beasley can knock down 3 all day long.
Yeah.
Leave him open, you can pay for it.
Yep.
All right. Even better. Carmelo Anthony. Anthony. He gonna knock down 3. Leave him open, you're going to pay for it.
Okay.
At the same time, I do not want Carmelo sitting there shooting 3 at Steph Curry range.
No.
Because he's confident in his 3-point shot. You can shoot it and you can hit it up here. I don't want you shooting it back at the logo. And that's what Ritter's problem is. Ritter is, don't get me wrong, Ritter is not a terrible quarterback. He's not. He's terrible for this season. He's terrible in what he's trying to do. Because he's trying to go against the grain. He's trying to do too much. That when I sit there and say Ritter is trash, he's trash because his acumen is not allowing him to flourish in the system.
And I got an answer for that too.
He's a trash quarterback. He's just trash at what he's trying to do. He's trying to be Brett Favre, and you don't have that. You don't have the size. You don't have the core power. You don't have the arm strength. You don't have that in. You don't see. You don't have the field vision. You don't have none of these things that you're trying to do. But if I leave your ass open in the corner for a 3, I know you can knock that down.
Okay. Well, I mean, I get what he's saying.
Instead of sitting there taking the corner three and scoring from doing that, you want to shoot from the goddamn logo because you just hit a layup to play beforehand.
Yeah.
Winston, it's actually what he's doing is instead of taking that spot up three wide open, he's running all the way to that logo spot to take that three. That's kind of how it feels at times. But I see what you're saying.
Basketball when he's playing NFL football.
I got you. I kind of see what you're saying, John.
Riddle's playing a dangerous game when in reality he should be playing the crying game because that's what he got his fingers playing. And all we doing is crying every time his ass get after.
The reason he's benched is because the reason he's benched is not because of his mistake. It's because that Arthur Smith is like, just do your job. Just do your job. Just do your job. He goes out there and he wants to do more than his job. And that's why he's benched, because he keeps wanting to do more than what his job is. And that's why
he can't even do his job right. He can't even do his job right.
It's what he just explained. Your job isn't just to make a spot up three, but he wants to take it from the logo. That is why he's benched, because you're not good enough to take that shot. Just do what coach is asking you to do.
Oh, I was just faking freezing up.
Okay, I was like wondering. I was like, God, man, what's John doing?
Now,
hey, John
I got to get out of bed for this.
John got some superior lung capacity.
well, first of all, guys, hold on. First, I turned on this eye test live stream. I see John doing a dance. I'm like, did I turn on the wrong stream?
Now, okay. Now,
watch me.
Using Winston's Carmelo Anthony analogy.
All
right.
Carmelo Anthony knows what he is good at because he's done it before.
Mm-hmm.
He's demonstrated that, okay, I know my limitations. I know where my spots are that I can take this shot. I'm not going to even attempt a logo three unless the shot clock is winding down and there's nobody else to pass it to. I might try it then. But normally, I know where my spots are. Okay? I know where my spots are. I know where my limitations are. Now, as you guys have said, Desmond Ridder has a confidence that's not backed up by performance.
Exactly.
I think the Bible says a zeal, but not according to accurate knowledge. Okay. You got a zeal, but you don't know enough to be able to put that zeal into practical application. You know, you want to talk about it, but you don't know enough about it to talk about it. When you start talking, people looking at you like, huh? You know about the fifth? You the 15th apostle. Well, Jesus didn't have but 12. Now, what the hell are you talking about? And people looking at you, boy, shut up and sit down someplace.
How the Batman
that was Matt Connor for telling them that you got to sit his ass down for him.
Hey, question.
Now.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to ask something.
I'm looking at the throw.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking at the throw.
Yeah.
It was not a physical situation. It was a what the hell are you doing situation. To me, it wasn't a situation where you were trying to get the ball to a certain person. I'm looking at how you cocked your arm back and released that ball and threw it dead to this man here. Who the hell were you throwing this to?
Okay. Xavier Woods.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about. You stared at that spot. I'm trying to figure out, was somebody supposed to come over there? Was somebody supposed to be there and didn't make it? You threw this dead to this man. You threw this dead to this man. Okay.
Not the first time either.
And that's my point.
Even worse part, 8 more yards with a little bit more law, we would have had a whole nother down.
Yeah. So that's my problem.
Easily toss it out to the side. You already on the side.
If you would have thrown it out of bounds, if you would have thrown it out of bounds,
you're already outside the tackle box.
Uh-huh.
You got receivers in the area. Throw the ball out of the bounds.
Yeah, it would have been third
Throw
down.
the ball out of the bounds. This common sense.
Third down.
He don't understand. We got another down to go. He think I got to get it all in one place. This is the last stand, baby.
Hey,
look, best NBA comparison to Desmond Ritter is J.R. Smith.
Oh God, yes. Oh God, now that's a whole lot better. Oh my God, and you got LeBron looking at what you do.
Is J.R. Smith.
I agree, but I think JR better at his job than
sometimes
you got a point, Q.
But JR Smith, he just nutted up.
Shit and have you scratch your head like, bro,
he
what
just nutted up. Cause see, and LeBron, I thought LeBron was gonna kill him right there.
Punch him.
I don't think any of us would have been mad if he did.
He had 50 points in regulation. And you gonna trick this up instead of just going over the layup?
I was so mad. Oh, I was so mad. I was so mad.
I was so happy.
That's Ritter. J.R. Smith. Ritter is J.R. Smith.
Oh, would you shut up, Red?
That's right. Kevin Durant.
I mean,
loses again, and then he brings his ass to my team after all those failures and fuck up. You want to fall into the Lakers? Nah, man, keep your ass.
Who you talking about?
He talked about LeBron now.
Stop, man. Brian,
stop it. You won a championship. Be quiet. You ain't supposed to be talking. That's still a championship, Red.
And he brought us on the first end season tournament.
I know, and you got a banner for the end season. Take a picture of it.
Look, as much you hate him, you can't knock that man for what he done in his career. I'm sorry, you can't.
No, you can't. Anyway, let's get back to football.
Go, James.
I won't. We'll talk about. We'll do that another day.
Go.
I don't want John to cough.
Go.
And now, gentlemen, we are here. Your head coach has made the decision to bring in Taylor.
Should have been fired.
All right, now he's made Taylor Heineke once again your starting quarterback. Now I got to ask this question:
is it deja vu with Denzel Washington? That's what I feel like it is.
Hey, could be, but I got to ask this question. Had Heineke not gotten injured with the hamstring, would Heineke still be playing? Because, and the reason I'm asking this, the only reason, I'm thinking this. The only reason that Ritter got back in the game or was put in the game, and continued to play quarterback, and I'm just following the breadcrumbs. Following the breadcrumbs. The only reason Ritter got back in the game.
Right into a rant.
Hey, I got to follow the breadcrumbs, Red.
You follow the breadcrumbs. I'll tell you where the sandwich is.
And I'm doing this for a reason.
Michael Jackson in his childhood, right into little being.
Well, what's the actor Chrissy on Detective? Hercule Poirot. That's John. Go ahead, John. Follow the breadcrumb, John. It's gonna get you there.
Yeah, follow the breadcrumb. You know
I'm doing my best Columbo impersonation. Excuse me. Do did you know about this right here? I mean,
the Muffin Man.
Do you know the Muffin Man?
I was trying to see what's going on.
You gonna have to add Coach.
You know,
Whoa! Hold on.
You put him back in. You put him back in. Now, if you didn't put him in, if you didn't put him in,
God, John sounds like John Bird. I swear.
Do you think that Ritter would have gone back in, or that we would still be with Taylor Heineke if Taylor Heineke hadn't gotten hurt? You know, I'm just trying to find out what's going on. I'm just trying to see what's
okay.
Well, Mr. Colombo, I'm gonna need a warrant. I'm gonna need a warrant before I answer that question, Mr. Colombo.
Red, can you handle another warrant? I mean, come on, man. Can you handle another warrant?
You did put your screen on silent for a few times, so Red, we don't want to put you out there.
Hey, Red, me and you carrying at least 6 warrants. Can we stand another one?
If need be.
He froze up, man. He didn't want to answer it. I guess he didn't want to answer it. He froze up.
Go ahead, Red. Then we go. Go to Q.
Yeah.
I'm saying, John, what was the main question though? You said
the main question was,
would he have gotten a job back?
Yeah,
would he have gotten a job back
if Heineke hadn't got hurt?
I think Arthur was looking for any reason possible, any means necessary to put that fool back in the game. And the second Heineke got an ingrown toenail, he could have got a damn paper cut, and his ass would have been out, and Ritter would have been in. And you saw, John, the moment he could put Ritter back in there, he did.
Yeah.
And then think about going back to Heineke, even with the losing streak. I mean, we went from damn. I'm saying every game we don't have a chance to win, he could have put Heineke in there and gave us a better opportunity. He did not. So that let you know. What this moron was thinking. Not much.
Hey, Eric Parker, I'm gonna get to your comment when you get around to me.
Doesn't seem like explosive like he was in motion. All right, so look. My feeling about this is kind of like what Red just said. I personally, when he got hurt, and it's funny, when guys get hurt, he all of a sudden changes quarterbacks. Now, this time, let's call it what this is, a CYB job, a.k.a. cover your booty. This is, him going to and it's like this. Best way I can explain it. Tell me you're tanking without telling me you're tanking. Like, everyone's like, oh, man, we should tank. Guys, we're losing games as it is now. If he keeps coaching the way he's coaching, what do you think is going to be any better? What do you think is going to change? I mean, because here's the thing. I will say this. Because Eric's comment, and Winston, I don't know what you're thinking, but my thought, because I remember watching Heineke play in Washington, and yeah, he's not this Superman. He's not this great quarterback, because if so, everybody would want him. But he was always explosive. He was always throwing the ball deep. He was always trying to get the big play. Here, we're not – my personal opinion, I thought Arthur Smith was sabotaging him in those games. I thought that the play call was not towards his strengths. Like, they were trying to keep him not throwing deep, keep the ball down. And it's crazy. If you throw it deep, you can open it up for the guys so they can, have some room to catch and have some room to cook. But honestly, it doesn't really matter who the quarterback is because the guy's still calling the plays. And that's my problem. But, they're not going to fire him in the rest of the season. Arthur Blanks doesn't want to do that. We will see what they do the rest of the season. If we lose out, then I want to see Arthur, try to tell the media and 92.9 The Game how Arthur's coming back. And try to do that with a straight face. And remember, it's Christmas Eve. It is at the Georgia or at the Benz. The Colts are everything the Falcons aren't. They have a defense they have a quarterback, and this guy's the backup. The running back's not even the starter. You know, they're having to put guys in and out and sub guys. So it's like they're doing the job when here we are having the same people, but we're not doing that job. So
they got an offensive coach too.
Yeah,
So,
they got the offensive guru.
Now the Eagles offensive coordinator. Now that's a coordinator you might want to grab instead of, like us looking at Tennessee offensive coordinator. I mean, what's next? Are we gonna hire the Bears? Are we gonna hire the Bears?
I mean, we got their GM. We got one of their coordinators, Ragone, or Be Gone.
See, that's what I'm saying. You got to know the teams to go to if you're trying to improve your offense. You got to know the teams to get coaches from.
I wish we would go to like old boy in L.A. Not Staley, but the one that coached the Rams, McVay. People off his staff.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Those are the coaches you look for to improve your team. You don't go to no Tennessee Titans, dog. I don't look for nobody.
Hold up on finishing, filling up that shopping cart, gentlemen. Hold up on that one.
Oh, we will. My bad.
No. I just want to make sure that everybody addresses this question.
Yeah. Go ahead, Keely.
Then y'all can go to Walmart and get what y'all need.
To answer your question, I think the answer is yes. But I think because sometimes the business outside of football plays its role on the field. I think he has to justify why Ritter was a QB1 going into the season. Based upon how Arthur Blank spoke about Ritter coming into the year, saying that he felt like he was a franchise, but I don't want to put words in the mouth, but he felt like he could be a franchise quarterback. Which I thought was absurd. I felt like Arthur Blank wouldn't know that unless somebody told him that.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think, I don't know. It's kind of like you said, the fart in the elevator thing. I don't know which one of them. I'm honestly, as I'm sitting here thinking more and more, I'm starting to think that Terry might be the villain in all of this.
Oh, we'll talk about
that. And what Toddy played this video of the draft day when they drafted Pitts, and I was sitting there looking at it, and Terry was the one that was excited that we drafted Pitts. Arthur Smith didn't even jump up. He was just stoic. Like, he didn't even smile or look up or anything. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, and I thought that was interesting because the rumor was that and I looked up the article that we wanted Trey Lance. So somebody wanted a quarterback. And it appears that it might not have been Terry. So I don't know who's the bad guy. Or the villain. What? I'm not even mad.
I remember that was the person, yeah.
I'm not mad at the thought. It's just that they wanted to go quarterback. Somebody in that room wanted to go quarterback. Even if they picked the wrong one. To me, if the thought process was, let's go get a quarterback, then you're the good guy in my book.
Yeah,
even
exactly.
if you pick the wrong one. Whoever said, let's get the tight end that can't block, you're the bad guy. And it appears to have been Terry. So to my point is that
someone that tomorrow. I hope your information is accurate.
Well, I can show you the where I got
it. I heard that.
I'll take your word for it.
And by the way, Trey Lance with the Falcons at the time would have been good because you had Matt Ryan being here. So that would have worked. But go ahead, Keely.
I'm gonna address it though, because it's gonna look like I'm taking Arthur's side. But
when I'll tell you where to go get when Toddy was doing the player grades, he ended up talking about Terry. And in that video, he showed the video of the 2021 draft day.
Yeah,
where Terry, once San Francisco names their pick for Trey Lance, he's like, yes, like that. We got our guy, like that. So. And Arthur just sitting there like this. He didn't even move when Terry hit him. He just sitting like there like this. He didn't even move. So
okay.
See,
Uh,
Winston.
But
See, I told
but to
Coach Taylor's
but to
ass
my
didn't
point,
need to play.
the reason I said they would eventually get back to Desmond Ritter is because you have to justify the selection of Desmond Ritter. Not only him as a draft pick, but the fact that you went into the season with him as QB1. So eventually you have to prove, even though I do believe that he felt that Heineke was his best chance at winning. Because even in when your job is on the line, who did he choose? He chose Taylor. So I feel like he always believed Heineke was the better option as far as winning games. They just had to justify a pick. Because the minute your job is in question, who do you turn to? Turn to Taylor. But go ahead, John.
This like any man, any single man. You may deal with numerous women, whatever. But when the shit hit the bricks, you have that one that you're going to go run to. You're going to help you get through. And I don't think that was the scenario for Arthur Smith this season. I don't. I did at the beginning of the season when Arthur Blank came out and said, hey, we in year 3 of a 3-year rebuild. And then we had a preseason game. He was doing the interview in the press box, and he was like, this is unacceptable, this is unacceptable. I was like, oh, yeah. Blank on their ass. This is going to be that year. If not, some shit going to shake. And then I look at the year start unfolding. And we jumped out with that quick 2-0 lead. Oh, okay. Maybe, all right. What happened was, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I was at work. You know how you got like low periods and shit at work. You just sit there and think. Like me, I just sit there and think random shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just sitting there thinking.
We are not surprised.
Yeah. That's just how my mind works. So I'm sitting there thinking.
Stop, Fred.
Hold on. Those first 2 wins, like, all right, they were nice and all, but were they really nice? Or is that the fandom in me sitting there thinking that they were nice?
It was a fandom, but I was with you too. I remember Keela came on and clowned us for thinking them first 2 wins was all that. I don't know if you remember Keela, but you was like, no, man, the first 2 wins, all that. Man. I'm saying you weren't excited as we were.
You gotta have a raised eyebrow with this team.
Yeah. So all right. So when that happened,
Smith.
Go ahead, Ray.
No, I'm with you. You gotta have a raised eyebrow with Arthur Smith.
You have to. So then, like, when it goes on, and then like the season really start unfolding, and I'm sitting there looking at it, and then like if you really sit there and watch Arthur Smith, there's no urgency in him. You don't see that in his face. Like, I can understand people having poker face and this and the third. All right, that's cool. But then I don't give a damn how good your poker face is. When you start losing to the rate that we're losing in this season, somewhere along the line you're gonna show something.
Yes.
Twitch. For real. He don't have a poker face. He don't even have a face.
Shaking in the playbook. Something you're going to do something. That's just human nature. Ain't nobody that cold. I'm sorry.
The most emotion this man
go down that conversation. We can go down that Catholic conversation. But I promise you, there's nobody that's that cold. So when I see that, it's more so, all right, well, do you actually care about the job? Or do you know you're safe in the job? Because you know when you know you're safe at the job, you ought to know, I woke up a little bit late. I ain't got to call nobody. I'll get in about 10, 15 minutes late. Everything be cool. I know I'm good because I know I'm safe at the job. But when I care about the job and I wake up late, first thing I'm doing while I'm sitting there trying to put on my shoe, I'm calling the manager. Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, you know, my alarm ain't go off. I'm on the way. I'm gonna be there as soon as I can. Give me about 5-10 minutes. I'll be there. There's a difference in things. You don't see that in him. And then even if he don't show it on the sideline, look at his press conference. None of his press conferences show that he gives a damn. He don't care. Why? Because I'm pretty sure he's safe in his job. The only way I can sit there and see him getting fired is if we get blown out by like Chicago or Indianapolis. He'll get a pass because the Saints is a division rival. He'll get a pass. But if we get blown out by Chicago or Indianapolis, he might got out of the Indeed, update his Indeed and holler at his daddy.
Man,
Now-
this sounds ridiculous, man. This guy should not have no job security. Nobody should have job security like that, especially a
Red,
coach you ain't.
Red,
Go ahead.
I'm on. Let me deal with that because see, Winston brought up something, and let me bring C-Dub. I don't know what C-Dub dog gonna do. He just
C-Dub out there crip walking off the screen, ain't it?
I'm holding up a sign.
He walking off the screen.
C-Dub, hey C-Dub, get that Coca-Cola.
Yes.
Get that Coca-Cola away from the doggone panel, because see, you keep spilling drink on that electrical panel, you're gonna grow some hair immediately.
Dude, if that's the case, I've spilled it all over the place. I was trying to call a play, and I tripped over my own 2 feet.
Hey, that old Waffle
that's why
House
you
thing
holding
you
up
ain't
that
gonna do
seat.
you no good, because they done took that cube steak off the menu.
You know, I wanted to go on that comment that what was it? You said, Winston, because you're right. Because when you watch how, like, let's just take Sean Payton.
Hey,
Can we?
C-Dub.
Yeah.
Bring you back on here for you to cut in front of me. But go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just.
All right, but real quick, I just wanted to say, you know, Sean Payton had, like, that man was cussing out Russell Wilson on the sideline.
Yes, he did.
All right, you don't even see that with Ritter and Smith. It's almost as if you fucked up or you screwed up.
And that's a $200 million quarterback.
Yes.
It's a $200
I think they're scared of his confidence. It feels like they've been trying to protect his confidence the whole time. Like
A third rounders?
Look, here's my thing.
Yeah.
If the boss man is sold that this guy could possibly be something, right? Such as a franchise quarterback. I don't know who told Arthur Blank that, but he came out speaking like that during training camp, that this kid could possibly be that because he has the intangibles. I don't know who told this man on that.
Yeah.
But it appears that the decision to kind of hide him from the preseason games, everything seems to have been in an effort to hold his confidence intact. The whole fake concussion thing, we took him out because he got a little dinged and it was precaution. We want to make sure he's safe. It just seems like an over attempt to protect his confidence. Until this point, there's no more excuses at this point. This is the first.
I can't have you no more.
Yeah, so this is the first time we've seen him. He's actually been sat without an excuse this time.
So the coaches. So hold on. Yeah,
all
because
and all this, we hold them back. Look, you either got the guys you want or you don't. If you don't believe in these guys, then they shouldn't be on the damn roster. All this protection, I'm holding them back. I'm doing this. And
if I sat there and told my boss, "Hey, I'm good enough to make this work."
Whoa. Time out. Hold on. The other thing, he doesn't have a quarterback coach to help him work these bad habits. And so whose fault that's the coach?
At this point, when you get to the NFL,
he
I
hasn't
can't
earned
take away your bad
anything for
habit.
his
Your
boss
bad
to
habits
please.
are your bad habits. I cannot take away your bad habit. All I can do is help minimize it. I can't change your bad habit because you did this from a peewee or young jit to the
What about
NFL.
coach bad
Let
habits?
me
I
let me
can't coach out your bad habit. All I can do is help minimize it. That's
John.
Now, okay.
John.
John,
John.
real quick, I got a question for you.
Now,
Do you remember what 2015 was like?
who me?
Yes. Do you remember what
Me?
2015
Oh
was
yeah.
like? All right. So
yeah.
let me paint a picture because we talked about why doesn't he have a quarterback coach and this and that, right? Someone in the group put, "Hey, I'm still in the Arthur Smith camp," and I was listening to what he had to say, and I started thinking, and people were like, "Oh, you crazy, this and that," and I was like, "Now this guy is pretty smart. He watches film, the guy in particular." And I was thinking, I was like, the way we talk about Arthur Smith right now is the exact same way we talked about Kyle Shanahan in 2015. The same things we were saying, like, oh, he's arrogant. He had the little war with Roddy White at the beginning of the year. All of that, he's arrogant. He's snobbish in terms of how he talked to people in the media and how he talked to people within the organization. All of this stuff, because Matt Ryan was looking like trash in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was trying to get Kyle Shanahan out of there.
True.
I'll never forget 2015. And then the very next year, he got the whole world on fire on the way to the Super Bowl.
True.
Now,
well, all right, go ahead, John.
I got to. Man,
I go right after you, John.
Y'all done brought up about 4 or 5 things I need to deal with, and I'm too old to remember all of them. I'm too old to remember all of them. But I'm okay. Let me start with that particular situation first. Now, I had a problem with Matt Ryan at that time. And I'm trying to think exactly how I approach this whole thing. Now, I'm not sure whether I was, and I'm going to have to check back because I'm thinking about how it was or how I was, kind of dealing with this situation. Kyle Shanahan had offensive coordinator experience. Much more than Arthur Smith does.
He had a longer resume, but
yeah.
Arthur Smith has had OC success.
You're right. And the thing about,
I mean, if you got a top 5 offense in the NFL, you got NFL success.
Yeah, you guys success. But I mean,
that's what I'm saying. It's just that Kyle Shanahan has a longer track record.
Shanahan was brought up under one of the best coaches of all time.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
And the situation and the situation with Matt Ryan, I disagree with Kyle Shanahan because of the fact that how he treated Roddy White, and was going to minimize Roddy White's role, according to Roddy White, to just being a blocking wide receiver. And he did do some stuff because the thing was, after that news came out, all right, the very next week, Terry Robisky, I remember Terry Robisky on film saying, hey, he's trying to prove a point. He's trying to prove a point because he kept, you remember when Matt Ryan just kept throwing him the ball, whether he was covered or not, or whatever. And I had a problem with Kyle Shanahan for him doing it. Okay. The situation was that Kyle Shanahan and Matt Ryan were butting heads because I know one thing that they butted heads about was the fact that Matt Ryan couldn't call any audibles. In Kyle Shanahan's system, it was a situation where the West Coast offense he had so many options on whatever play it was that he called that he could have. There were at least 5 receivers he could have thrown to, or if he called the running play was going to work. They fought and they bucked heads that first year. But after he forced Matt Ryan to realize that he was not as good as he thought he was, kind of like what Ritter was doing. Matt Ryan goes to quarterback camp for the very first time in his career. And that particular year in 2016, I saw noticeable pop in his throws. I saw a change, noticeable pop in his throws. In training camp, he was getting at Matt Ryan about staring at receivers. Okay. That year, 2016, after all of that pressure that Kyle Shanahan was putting on Matt Ryan to be better, you saw the finished result. If you hadn't had a Kyle Shanahan, if you hadn't had a quarterback go to quarterback camp, that from an real offensive coordinator that had all of that offensive coordinator experience, Matt Ryan 2016 would never have happened.
Exactly.
Okay. John,
now
let me ask you a question real quick. From 2015 to 2015 Matt Ryan to 2016 Matt Ryan, do you think Matt Ryan could have became 2016 Matt Ryan if he didn't already have that talent within him? Do you think?
No.
I ask you an even easier question. Do you think Desmond Ritter can turn into a shell of 2015 Matt Ryan?
Hell no.
2015.
Well, I'm gonna say this. That's an unknown. That's an unknown.
No.
I'm gonna say I would love to have seen Desmond Ritter with proper coaching. I would have loved to have seen Desmond Ritter with proper coaching.
Yep.
Because just like I made the analogy of Bill Parcells and Phil Simms, and I put this, matter of fact, y'all might not have seen what I said because I put it in Big Low Country's stream one night.
Oh, I remember, and I saw it, and I laughed like hell because you were right.
Hey, and Winston, y'all think about it. You remember how Bill Parcells was when Phil Simms messed up, and he came to the sideline. Parcells had his foot so far up Phil Simms' butt that he was tasting Johnson's shoe wax for a week.
Yep, he did.
What the hell were you thinking? Why did you make? Didn't care.
But the times are different now.
Now,
well, hold on now. Hold on.
Russell Wilson. You saw what Russell Wilson and Sean Payton were doing.
Exactly. And that's exactly where I was about to go with it.
Yeah.
John, you remember I came up watching 90s football and until I'm old enough and my fandom grew enough that I wanted to go research older things and things. You know what I'm saying? But you can't sit there and tell me that coaches nowadays are able to coach players the way that they coached them back in the 90s.
The good ones can.
No, it's a lie. It's a lie.
They don't respond to the same way they're raised.
You know why?
You can't respond
because
to the same
there's nothing, there is nothing that you can do behind closed doors in a public situation. It's not possible.
Okay. I said
it's not possible. If I'm a coach, if I'm a coach and John my quarterback, and I sit there snap on him in practice, and it's supposed to be a closed practice, somebody has a fucking camera and a phone that's sitting and recording it and it's getting out. I cannot coach you the same way that the coaches used to coach back in the 90s. You can't do it. Look at Draymond Green and Jordan Poole just last year. That was a closed practice. And somebody had an old ass, dirt ass flip phone, Motorola, goddamn,
Hey man, I got a Motorola. Don't be hating on the Motorola.
was a
Come on, man. They do a good picture. I ain't got the money to get a new one.
That was a terrible camera, whatever it was.
A Nokia.
Nothing happens in private anymore. I can't coach you the same way that it used to be, because
Look,
it used to be, as a coach, I could get on your ass and it may leak out and it's gone by tonight.
Winston. What I'm saying is, guys can coach hard. It's just you got to be able to adapt with the people. And Arthur Smith has not shown
getting phased out of the NFL. That's why he's over after this season. You can't coach players the same way you did back in the 90s. You can't do it. It's not going to work. You know why? Because everybody know what it is. There's too much money on the line. People are getting paid way more money. If I'm making $250 million, you making $5 million, why the fuck I'm gonna sit there and let you talk to me like a damn dog? That's dead.
Before we go too far down the coaching thing,
I'm a man.
Before we go too far down
I dare you to do. I don't give a damn how much money you make. I am the coach.
Before we go down too far,
if you're
let Keely say something.
I'm me, and I don't make a quarter of that money. I don't make nowhere near that money that they make. And I'm me. I promise you. Just me personally. If you sit there and talk to me like that, I'm going to come see you. And it's gonna be on some man-on-man shit. And goddamn, it is what it is at that point. Because you're not gonna talk to me in no type of way. That's dead.
It's the same reason Nick Saban wasn't successful in the NFL.
The money into the situation.
Yeah.
Let's in the whole world star movie. That what took the world off in a whole different direction. World star. When world star became prevalent, that's when men stopped learning how to defend themselves. They started picking up guns instead of picking up hands.
Okay, now
when that whole thing going on. It's not happening like that. You're not gonna sit there and talk to no grown man like that.
Now,
I promise you, Denver would not shake back from it.
This is how you handle that. If you're not going to follow my instructions on this field, you're not playing.
Yeah,
right.
That's
it.
That's why Nick Saban got fired. That's why college coaches don't traditionally work.
People get all of it, so he has to play.
Nick Saban, the greatest coach there, one of the greatest coaches there is, but he can't coach at the NFL level for that reason.
Coach the same way. The man got $200 million guaranteed. He has to play.
No, and he has to play. And see, that's another thing. That's another thing.
You can't coach the same way you did in the 90s.
I don't even know why we're talking about coaching. I don't even know why we're talking about coaching.
Let me say this. And see, the reason I'm talking about coaching is in Ritter's case. You got this man in the third round. Yep. You're not paying Ritter an exorbitant amount of money.
No.
Yep.
I think he just touched his first million this year.
Yeah, you're not paying that man an exorbitant amount of money. So in that case, you can coach him way different than a man that's making a franchise quarterback $250 million.
Thank you.
I'm gonna tell you why we still probably should be talking about coaching.
Hey, John, post that last comment and keep going.
Okay. Well, let me go.
No, go down
and
one more.
Next to that next comment.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, keep going.
Since Ritter is a rookie and on a rookie scale, okay, in a third round situation, you can coach him a little different than you can coach someone that you have identified as a franchise quarterback and paid him like a franchise quarterback, because you would never have given that man $250 million with however guarantees you might have, unless you thought by his 4 years of being a rookie that he could be something. Because those first 4 years that you have him, you supposed to coach him, make sure he's following your instructions, doing what it is that he needs to do before you even trust him enough to give him the big money. because by the time you pay him the big money, it's too late. It's too late for you to start coaching that person. And when you draft somebody in the 3rd round, you know from Jump Street, at least I know from Jump Street, this is a project. This is something that you definitely need to work on and work with to get him where you think you need for him to be. And if you did not do that with the very best coaching that you have available, that's on you, head coach.
But
That's
we're talking about coaching as if we know that he failed at coaching. We don't know if the product is defective or is it user error. We don't know that.
No,
that's my point.
And
we're talking about coaching when we like take Jamarcus Russell for example. What coach would have changed that situation?
That's my
point.
From looking at it, I can't say any.
Yeah.
So that's my point. Here. We don't know if it's user error or the product was defective. We might have got the one remote control car that didn't work out the factory.
Okay.
We should have got Sam Howell instead. We could have got the one that doesn't work. We could have got the one. So when people, it's kind of like the argument of like what skills are important, right? Like when you look at Brock Purdy, who's in the same draft, you look at his skills, his draft evaluation, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's not athletic. He doesn't have a cannon of an arm. He's like all this other stuff, right? But he has great anticipation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you look at the things that coming out the draft, they said about Ritter, right?
Yes, and Ritter was ranked higher.
Yes, but not for the things that were important, though.
What did they say? Tell me, what did they say?
They said he wasn't accurate, questionable arm strength, questionable accuracy downfield, right? All the things you actually need to play quarterback.
So right on par, and we still
exactly.
Hold on,
like Tim Tebow.
His athleticism was his strong point. However, the other quarterback doesn't have all these things, but the one thing he was really good at was his anticipation, his anticipating throws, which is the one thing you can actually utilize at playing quarterback. He can. That's the one thing that Kyle Shanahan is like, okay, yo, we can work with that.
Oh, okay. You talking about first? See, that's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. We can't be
looking for the wrong thing.
We can't be surprised if your profession is to throw the football and we draft someone who evaluation says he's not accurate. He's not accurate downfield. He's not like we can't be surprised.
Who picked him?
Okay. Now,
and that's another thing of the whole fart in the elevator thing again. We don't know.
Okay.
We don't know who
well, okay. Hey, let me address
Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Go ahead.
But we're talking about coaching when some of this stuff should be coached at the NFL level. Some of this stuff should be coached at the NFL level. Some of it needs to be coached prior to the NFL level. And then we don't know, like I said, if he failed at his job, if it's user error or the product is defective.
And Keely, you want to go ahead, Winston?
Yeah. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Kyrie took and made a post in Atlanta Bird game early, and the post was somebody interviewing Terry Fontenot back doing the combine that Ritter came out in, and it was. And they asked him, they were like, hey, look, you know what I'm saying? Who was the most interesting and the player that made the most impact on you? And he said Desmond Ritter. And he said that went down the goddamn
fire him.
All these things of why he was so it's about like a minute and a half interview. The post. Now I don't know if it was spiced up or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
You need to watch it a couple more times to know for sure, but that what it was.
Here, you said it clear, right?
John, yeah, Terry. But
I
John,
am gonna roast his black ass tomorrow. Just wait. Just wait.
Now,
I'm gonna clean his
let me
black
go
ass
back to what.
just on their head.
Now, let me go back to what Keely said. Now,
You said he drafted Kyle Pitts.
Keely, you're absolutely right. But I'm throwing this in the mix because number one, y'all, Terry Fontenot, Arthur Smith, you picked him knowing about these weaknesses.
Amen.
Right? You picked him. Now,
ridiculous. This
like I always
worse,
say,
because his
like
intangibles.
I always tell, what are those quotation marks for?
No, fuck that.
The intangibles.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. These
Well, that just tells
intangibles that he has, but the fallacies that he has also. You knew from the scouting report and what everybody else was saying about this man that he had some flaws too. You accepted the job, Arthur Smith, Terry Fontenot, whichever one it was, knowing that this man had these flaws. You said in picking him that you could get something out of him irrespective of these flaws. You said you could coach him. Now, then on top of that, the person that you said that was going to coach him had no quarterback coaching experience to mitigate or eliminate these bad things that he was doing. Okay, so when you did that, that marked you as being partially responsible for this collapse. Partially responsible, or I could say majorly responsible, because you picked this man knowing he had flaws.
Well,
now when you do that, when you accept that job, it's just like Super Chicken told Fred. You knew the job was dangerous when you took it, Fred.
Yep.
I somewhat agree. However, it goes back to your fart in the elevator example, because there's some things that I put on Arthur Smith, like certain picks and certain talent that was actually might have been the other way. To Winston point, it seems like that may have been a Terry pick. It may have never been Arthur Smith's intention for him to start the way things shook out. Because it sounds like they had discussions in the offseason about getting another QB1. Like from the month of January, right after the very final game, to the end of March, before the owner meetings, he was asked multiple times, "Is Desmond Ridder your QB1?" He never gave an answer. Not until the owner meetings did he give an answer. That's 2.5 months of avoiding questions regarding, is this guy your quarterback? It could be a situation. We don't know. It's the fart in the elevator situation again, because we don't know if that's a guy that Arthur Smith even wanted. That might not have been his pick.
Now, and then go ahead, Red.
What I was gonna say is,
I mean, it's speculative, but what I'm saying is, if Terry was the one that said that he liked the guy, we never heard Arthur Smith sell the guy once. I've never heard Arthur Smith say that this guy was the future ever. Okay. I've never heard Arthur Smith say that. I've never heard Arthur Smith try to sell us on the guy. I've never heard Arthur Smith speak of him in that way. Terry has, Arthur Blank has.
Now, Keely, I submit, since you said that, not playing him in the preseason except for one snap and then one series, and then saying I'm satisfied with what I've seen.
Yep.
Protecting them.
You gotta stop that. No, I'm done with this. Come on now.
You can be done with it, but that's what it probably was.
No. You look.
Let's see Doug get it off so I can go ahead and explain what I'm saying.
I mean, protect him, make him feel better. Oh, he's got 3 winning drives, and it leads the league in the NFL this season. I don't give a damn. He's on the bench for a reason because he's sorry. And the coach should be fired because the coach didn't prepare him. Whatever.
Hold on,
You know
before you
what?
get, before
Hold
you
on.
get, hold
No,
on, before you get
I'm
into
already
it,
going. Go ahead. You're going to interrupt. Go ahead.
well,
Go ahead.
before you get too far down let's time block it. We're not talking about current day. We're talking about at the preseason. So we're talking about
Okay. Hold on. I'll go back then. Hold on. Let me go back then. Let me go back then. Let me go back then. Because again, you're trying to tell me all these things. Well, he didn't know that's his quarterback. Dude, he picked these guys. Stop it with
You
that mess.
don't know that.
He either hit. Whoa. Didn't Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot working together? I mean, so you're telling me there were secret meetings and Arthur was like, oh, I have him? Oh, no. Man, please stop with that BS, man.
So
First of all, look. No,
I'm going to rebut that.
I'm going to keep going because here's the thing. If he was so good,
How you doing,
you think that two people going to agree on every single decision?
Hey, buddy.
No, dude.
That's
Look,
foolishness
so
to say that two people going to agree on every single personnel and every single decision. They're not going to agree and like the same people. So therefore, it is very plausible that one person can like Ritter and another person can like another one.
So Coach Stash is the victim. So Arthur Smith is the victim.
Let me interject.
It's called compromise. Evidenced by the fact that one person was excited about the Pitts pick and the other one was sitting there staring like this. Obviously, they don't agree on every pick. So if you think that they're lockstep on every single,
I bet you that man looks at his wife the same way. I mean, Arthur Smith looks like he has no emotion.
I'm just trying to kill the foolishness. If you think that they agree on every single pick,
there is a report out. They said literally that Arthur Smith and Terry Fontenot are on the same level, and they got down.
why are you nodding your head? That doesn't mean that they like the same person.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just nodding what he just said.
Okay, hold on.
They report up. They don't
Calm down, fellas. Calm down.
They have the same amount of
No.
So there are
Okay. All right, fellas. Keep it
in this
in
3-year regime that is not, hey, I like this person and you like this person, let's go get them. There's picks of, I like this person, I'm going to get him, but you like this person, I'm going to go get him. And that's what's going on. And that's where there's this dysfunction at. Because
that doesn't mean both
there's
of them
not
like
a lot
Ritter,
moment in this regime so far. Look at the pick. If
Nobody should like Ritter.
Amen to that.
Okay.
The only person that publicly came out and only one of them that came out and publicly said that they liked them was Terry. You never heard Arthur Smith say that he publicly liked them.
He played them.
Hold on.
He got to play who he got on the team. You want him to play Purdy? He don't got Purdy. What you want him to do?
I do you one better. When they sit there and come out and go draft a tight end, first pick overall in the beginning of a goddamn regime, and then they say, well, we went got the best player available. That's where you know there's something that's not sinking. It's not sinking. Because if that was the case, if you start a regime, you know your foundational part is a quarterback, a left tackle, or a goddamn edge rusher.
We know the foundational part.
All right. So for you to go all the way off the board and you went and got a tight end, not a receiver,
his stats ain't leading
not a corner, not a linebacker, not a center, not a running back. You went got a tight end out of anything on the goddamn board. Like hell, you could. And then hold on. I'm gonna do you one better. In the same draft, we went and got a fucking punter. Y'all remember that?
Yep.
What is that, Hofstricker or some shit?
Yep.
You drafted him in the 7th round. Man, you tell me where there's goddamn cohesiveness between the head coach and the goddamn GM. It's not.
Wilson, this what it is,
They're
Wilson.
doing what they want to do, and while they're doing what they want to do, us as fans are sitting there trying to pick up the goddamn pieces, and we can't get no further because there's no cohesion. You say you want, because you got to think about it. When this regime first started, the defense was supposed to be an anema.
Mm-hmm.
We're not gonna be a base 4-3, not gonna be a base 3-4. We're not gonna be a base nickel. We're gonna be a anema. We're gonna be flexible. We're gonna do all this wild ass shit. With Dean P. 2 years we did that. We drafted.
Hey, Winston.
And then now,
Winston, you said we gonna be a what?
Anema.
Yeah, I remember that. Amoeba.
And goddamn,
I thought you were saying
it doesn't have a cohesive, goddamn solid structure.
Okay. Okay.
That's what they said they wanted the defense to be, right? All right.
Oh boy.
So then for 2 years we drafted towards that, right?
Yeah.
Coming off of having a 4-3 defense for the past decade plus. So now we drafted off of defensive players to fit that scheme, and now we're going to a 3-4, which is nowhere close to that.
Mm-hmm.
A 3-4 is cut and dry.
Now
you got more flexibility in the 4-3 than the 3-4.
Now let me I'm gonna assert my AARP preference here.
Yeah, I'm a few years behind you.
and I'm gonna say this. Getting back to number one, let's address this other elephant in the room. By virtue of the fact that a coach and a general manager are equal, that is a major problem.
Big problem.
Yep.
That is
nobody knows who made the decision.
That's right. And well, I'm going to say this. When Arthur Smith, and this is where I'm building this wall here. When Arthur Smith declares that Desmond Ridder is QB1,
yep,
by virtue of the fact that you say that number one, you didn't play him any in the preseason. The same way you didn't play Matt Ryan in the preseason when he was here.
Mm-hmm.
When you didn't play your quarterback but one series in the preseason, and then you say that you were satisfied with what he did, even though he threw an interception on the one series he was in.
Mm-hmm.
That means that in my mind, you have sanctioned this man.
Yep.
You sanctioned this man at least for this year. Whether you agreed on the pick or not, you were satisfied with what this man did in that particular series.
And you sold it to everybody.
And you said you saw enough.
Let me because hold on. Let me say my point was, I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying what is also possible or plausible, right? So for example, when I said he's possibly protecting him, because if you gotta go in, you gotta protect this kid's fragile confidence, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it's fragile. I thought it was all time confident that you said.
Now, see. Look,
all right, let me.
Let
me.
Go ahead. And I come right after you. I got to answer that.
That's the shit that irks me, because it's for young players, like they've been coddled too much for my life.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
They've been coddled way too much.
Let me address what C-Dub just said.
All right, no more. So you don't get caught.
What C-Dub said.
Hey, make up your mind.
All right, let me address what C-Dub just said. What I think, as far as his confidence and what is reported, is two different things. I said reported that he's confident about his talent. I didn't say I believe that.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just trying to.
Yeah, you're just saying, and I'm just correct. You're just saying, and I'm just correcting.
Okay, put the bass down. I got you. I'm listening.
So again, I'm just correcting. It's two different things. What I believe his confidence is and what the reports are, two different things. So again, as far as preseason, I guess what his statement was that with the work they did against the Dolphins in those scrimmages served as the work that would have been in those preseason games. Because remember, they had the 2 or 3 scrimmages against the Dolphins.
I remember that. Yeah.
And that was what Arthur Smith stated was that was the work that he needed to see or whatever the case may be. Now, me personally, again, my personal opinion about his confidence, I think it's what Winston just said as far as coddling, right? You got a young guy who maybe, Coach Mason, may be prone to turnovers or whatever the case may be. Let's kind of coddle and protect his confidence a little bit where he's not getting dogged out as much publicly until we can get him into the season. And then the play calling somewhat reflected that. Hold on, let's give him some, let's try to not get him exposed until around you see going into like the meat of the season where people just like, all right, we're gonna force Ritter to do what he's uncomfortable doing. Now,
okay, now let me respond to that. Now, hey, I understand what all you guys are saying, but what Winston just said, see, if there was a potential, and see, this is something for all players, especially at the quarterback position. Look, you got to be ready for criticism. You got to be ready for fire. You got to be ready for everything when you are the quarterback, whether you are QB1, QB2, QB3, because at any instant and any time, you could be thrust into QB1 very easily. One injury, you in there. Now, when you are, when you running the show, you got to be ready for the slings and arrows. Then on top of that, if you need to be told that you've done something wrong, okay, when you need to be told that you screwing up, you are supposed to, when in the interview process, when you talk to the coach before they decide to draft you and all of the examinations, what type of person is he? What type of whatever? Because everybody was saying that Ritter was mature beyond his years because he had a family, had a wife. He was already this, he was already that. It wasn't like he was just a young kid that had never gone through adversity and all of this type of stuff. When they said, hey, look, Red, that's what they were saying.
Yeah, they were. So I remember hearing that.
Well, see, my thing is, they were selling us. They were selling us on the fact that this man was READY, capital letters, underline, exclamation points, front and back.
Who is they?
Ready.
Who is they?
The Falcons.
Yeah, the Falcon organization.
The Falcons.
Okay, and it goes back to my point.
Not any of y'all.
No. But that goes back to my point. Because every statement, I agree that that's what we heard from the Falcons organization, but I often heard it coming from Terry and from Arthur Blank. I didn't hear much praise of Desmond from specifically the head coach.
Okay. Now let me.
That was my point.
Okay, and Kelly, that's a good point. But I counter that with this question: has Arthur Smith ever impressed you that he would praise anybody?
Yeah, because he doesn't really do that.
No. So, but that doesn't.
I mean, regardless. Regardless of.
But it goes back to the argument of it's an unknown. So, for example, we don't know if he could develop quarterbacks because we never seen him develop a quarterback, right? So we don't know if he can or can't. It goes back to the same thing. In Tennessee, he had a veteran at quarterback. So we don't know if he can develop a young talent. So we don't know if he failed, if he did, or you see what I'm saying? Is we don't know because we never saw it.
Well, we don't. Does Ritter count as one of his students?
Okay, Keely. Okay, Keely. That disqualifies him as being expert in doing it. If you have no track record of ever doing it,
Thank
that
you.
Disqualifies you.
Ding ding.
Hold on, no. It's not necessarily.
Hold on.
I'm gonna tell you why not necessarily.
I have to disagree with it because
Stand by your Ritter.
He does not have a track record of developing a young quarterback, but he has a track record of developing a quarterback. Because you think about it, Tannehill was trash in Miami.
No, hold up. Hey, wait a minute.
Tannehill was trash in Miami before he got to Tennessee. Because it was sitting right in his ass off and talking about he should go back to being a wide receiver.
Hey, Winston. Now, who you talking about? Who you talking about, Winston?
Huh?
Who you talking about, Winston?
Tannehill.
Whoa. And hold up. Now, Tannehill has 2 4,000-yard seasons down there in Miami.
Yep.
And he was trash. Was you seeing the thing about him?
Why do you say he was trash?
He was trash.
Why do you say that?
Because his numbers is empty, just like Ritter shit is here.
Well, hold on. Let me look.
His numbers
is empty. Look at that.
His numbers is empty, just like Ritter 347-yard game he just had.
While y'all look that up, I just want to hit this one sidebar about he shouldn't have been because he wasn't equipped. Not a single person our organization has hired under Arthur Blank had experience at what they were hired for. None of them were equipped. Kyle Shanahan had never been a head coach before, but yet he's a successful head coach. Not a single head coach we've hired or GM we hired had prior experience at what they were currently hired to do as an Atlanta Falcon. But yet we've had successful seasons.
But Kyle Shanahan wasn't head coach when he got hired here.
He was an offensive coordinator.
No. That's not the point I just made. Prior to being hired at San Francisco, he had no experience as a head coach.
Okay.
That's my point. Just like to the point of Arthur Smith not being qualified because he's never developed a young quarterback. To my point, under the Arthur Blank regime, no one we've hired at the GM position, at the head coaching position, was qualified or had previous experience doing that job prior to becoming the Atlanta Falcon.
And that's a problem.
But yet we have had success. Dan Quinn had never been a head coach prior to coming here. However, in his second year, we're in the Super Bowl.
However, and I understand your point. But Kyle Shanahan, let me see. Okay, Dan Quinn had never been a head coach. Okay, granted.
Yeah, he was a defense coordinator for
defensive coordinator for Seattle. Mm-hmm. All right.
And he loved his slogans.
And now, Kyle Shanahan, however, I'm still looking that up. Let me look this up.
I get to my point is that because none of them had experience, just like we've never seen Arthur Smith have experience in developing a young quarterback. But because you see traits in those people, then you say, okay, then they could be a good fit.
So if the coach can say, okay, go ahead, John.
Hey, go ahead, CW. You hadn't said
no. I was just trying to go. If the coach says he could coach this guy and he can develop him, and yet the guy doesn't get developed, so who's boo-boo the fool?
Well, you're making.
I'm sorry.
You're making presumptive statements. Like you're saying, if he says he can coach this guy and can develop.
Well, hold on.
We've never heard those statements come out his mouth.
Oh, okay. So we're just going to
say what now, Keely? What? Repeat that again, Keely.
No, I'm talking about C-Dub statements. Do you want to repeat your statements? You said if this guy said he can do this and this, but you're making presumptive statements that have never been validated. We've never heard Arthur Smith say that.
Well, hold on. Whoa.
Okay.
Arthur Smith Well, no, what I'm trying to get at here is because, man, you defend Arthur Smith like he's a loved one. We need to ask something.
No,
But
I'm just
I'm
defending
just
facts.
saying. No, I
I'm
know,
just
man.
defending
You
facts.
just no. I'm just saying. You come
Here's
and
what
ask
I'll say.
people ready for this, but I'll tell you,
No. My slogan is "Stop me when I tell a lie." It's not about
okay, CM
defending
Punk,
anything.
but still, I
Just
got you.
Stop me when I tell a lie.
Well,
The point is, I just defend
you
facts.
can keep talking, but I mean, eventually, some people do have to, challenge a little bit. Dear
I'm
God.
just challenge
Anyway,
you with facts.
well,
Continue.
again, I am trying to talk to you, but I know it's so hard. But anyway, so
It's hard
again,
to not listen to facts. Go.
Arthur Smith, offensive coach, right?
Yes.
Top 5 team, right?
I don't know if
Knows
they're
how
the
to
top
build.
5
Whoa,
team.
No. You said it was the top 5. You said that's
I
what
said a
the
top 5
team was.
offense. That's the
Yeah,
difference. It's
top
not a top 5
offense and
team.
I said top offense 5. But
No, you
anyway,
said top 5 team. That's where we
anyway,
get back to
I'm just
talking about
saying.
facts. No,
So
you're just saying the wrong thing.
again, and he could develop players. He could develop a
Who
system.
said that?
You did. But
I
anyway,
didn't say that.
and then you're
That's
now
where I go back
telling
to
me,
facts.
and then now you're telling me, or Arthur Smith doesn't talk good of these quarterbacks, doesn't talk good about anybody. Okay, but yet he has them on the team, solves a practice, and hides him in the preseason for his well-being so he could coddle him, breastfeed him a little bit. And then what? Again, this disappointment of a season is not just on the quarterback, who is the most important position in the NFL. It's the quarterback. Last I remembered, because I'm also on the Atlanta Bird gang. I do, remember hearing Tidy say that too. And also, that means the coach who coddled Desmond Ridder, because he has such great confidence. Hold on. So that great confidence gives you 10 interceptions. So that's, really nice. 10 touchdowns. I know he leads the league in 3 game-winning drives because God knows I've heard that stat down my throat today. So again, what has Arthur Smith done to deserve not just year 4, but game 17? Because quite honestly, he is as bad as his quarterback. And I'm sorry, the offense that this man is coaching has regressed over the last 3 years. And here's the deal. Either he picked it, or Terry, or they both picked it, or Arthur Blank picks it and told them this is how they got to deal with it, which I highly doubt. But, you might know before I do. But I'm just saying, that's the issue here, is you got a trash head coach and a trash off a quarterback. And we already know he needs to go. Ragone needs to be gone because he don't do nothing. But again, look, please, he's from Chicago. He's bad at his job. Anyway, so that's what I'm saying, man. Because sometimes you need to not hang around poop. But again, man, Desmond Ridder and freaking Arthur Smith, they're one and the same. Sorry. I don't know what else to tell you, man. Oh God, man. Whatever.
Okay, all right. So let me
go ahead.
All right, so here we go. His play calling is bad, right? That's what your statement is. Both of them are bad. However, how can you judge play calling if it's the most? How can you judge play calling if, by your own admission, the quarterback who's conducting the play calling is bad? How do you know which part is the bad component in the equation? Like, how can you decipher the two? What I see and what other professionals see is that receivers are open. Last time I checked, that's the job of the offensive coordinator, to make sure that the receivers are open. However, how can you take a full analysis of the effectiveness of that play calling if, by your own admission, the person who's conducting the offense is terrible? Like the play calling is only as good
Has
as
the offense regressed? Has the offense regressed?
All right. Regress from where?
From where it was 2 years ago.
All right. So here's hold on. No, you don't know to talk. Can I get some talking in? Look,
you've been talking. I swear to God, all you do is talk. Is running over everyone.
Look, you just gave a 20-minute soliloquy about absolutely nothing, and I sat and listened.
Well, because I keep saying that Arthur Smith is trash, as well as Desmond Ridder, but you are the only one that keeps defending him.
Hey,
so,
sorry.
Gentlemen.
Hold on.
One thing I want to make sure. Okay, now, even if and C-Dub, both you guys. Now, everybody can stand on their business. Now,
I can stand it on with actual facts.
Okay. Now, and whether you bring facts, whether you bring opinions, whether you bring feelings or whatever, if either one wants to stay on their side of the fence, saying whatever it is that they want to say, as an American, you have the right to do so.
Yeah.
You got the right to do so.
Yeah, but
now thing is about that is that we may never convince the other to see their point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get mad. Don't nobody get mad at nobody because they want to stand on whatever hill they want to stand on.
Hey, look,
that's one thing. That's one thing that I always.
If y'all want to talk y'all shit, this is the perfect platform for it.
And see, that's one thing.
I always say, it better stand up to the eye test.
Yeah.
Don't sit there and talk it. Don't sit there and talk it, and you can't back it up. Don't
you got
no facts to back up your argument.
Wait a minute, who that eye in there?
That was red.
Red.
Again.
Your eye is red.
Look, again. I'm not even.
There's a reason why his name is Red.
Well, you put on the immediate.
But look. Let me say this. Now, if either of you guys have ever seen me in bird games, especially in the early days that I was in bird games, I've had to die on many hills, many times. I've had to die on many hills many times. And I was glad to die on that hill because we would argue, we would discuss, we would talk, but I had a point and would bring facts, feelings based on facts, based on logical arguments to the table. Now, thing is, just like right now, when I post the drive charts for every game, man, there are people that hate me because I post a drive chart. Oh, you act like you're supposed to score every point. Oh, yes, you are.
Yeah, yes, that's the whole goal.
You know, and I back it up. I have to back it up with how I feel. Okay, now they still disagree. I let them go ahead, and you know, you got your point. I've got my point. Okay, now I may not ever convince you, but I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to wait because from time to time, I'm standing right here waiting on you to get back to where I am because the facts have drugged you back here. That's the way that I am. And guys, I don't want nobody to lose friendship over a disagreement or disagreeing with one another. It is no insult for either one of you, for me, for us just to disagree.
Well, yeah, John, first of all, let me say this. Thank you. One, we weren't friends, so it's not a lose a friendship thing.
Yeah.
Two, I am a person that speak on facts. He made presumptive statements, and that was what I was pointing out. He said Arthur Smith said this and that without any evidence that Arthur Smith ever said any of those things, which is I was simply pointing out. I'm not even an Arthur Smith fan, but I am a fan of factual information. And to my point is that we can't in totality just assume that was this conversation right now simultaneously is going on in ABG right now, where Dio's the guy who he made a post talking about, yeah, they're bringing my guy back. And he literally posting the whole dialogue of 2015 and every single complaint about getting Kyle Shanahan out of there in 2015. And that's the same conversation. And to my point, I'm not even an Arthur Smith fan. I didn't even like him coming here, but I'm a fan of factual information. And the truth be told, Kyle Shanahan wasn't a bad OC, but in 2015, Atlanta fans wanted him the hell up out of here. And it was the same arguments. And the point is, you can't say it's play calling when the person who is effectively in control of the plays is self-admittedly a bad quarterback. You cannot conduct an effective evaluation on the play calling if the receiver is open, but your quarterback chooses to throw it 3 inches high into the stands. You cannot put that bad, quote unquote, bad play calling. Am I saying that Arthur Smith is the best play caller in the league? No.
Arthur Smith is a genius.
Yeah.
But to my point, this is the same conversation. The same guy that people are saying, oh, if he was in Kyle Shanahan offense, this would be so much better. This is the same Kyle Shanahan y'all had the same conversation about in 2015. And the very next year, we're going to a Super Bowl effectively on the back of his play calling. Which is now again, stop me when I've said a lie. Every single thing I've said is actual, factual. It occurred. That is the point. You can't make a total set. If it was based on 2015, Shanahan is a terrible play caller, even though the fact that Matt Ryan had a tough year.
Although, funny thing is, I remember 2015, because I know I'm old, but still. But I remember 2015, and I remember blaming a head coach. So I never really looked at the offense coordinator because at that time, there's this thing called pattern of behavior. And we knew the first year Matt Ryan was in a new offense, he could grasp it, but he's going to mess it up because him and the offense coordinator never shuck and drive at the same time. But usually that second year he rebounds and gets back on there. But that's neither here nor there.
Hold on, C-Dog.
Yeah, go ahead.
You said that in 2015 you looked.
Yeah, I remember. I'm trying to say I remember when I watched the games, and I remember instantly 2015, I was pissed at Dan Quinn because I thought there were a couple of games he fat-booed. And remember, didn't we start 5-0?
Or the coach, but the coach, Dan Quinn, was the first, that was Dan Quinn rookie season, so he didn't have
No. I was talking about Winston. I'm talking about how with Matt Ryan, from his rookie year with offensive coordinators, because I remember that was something that was always talked about.
I remember the offensive coordinator conversation.
Matt Ryan never had an offensive coordinator over 3 years.
I know, but I'm just telling you what I remember hearing. I'm just telling you what I remembered hearing. I remember watching that usually that first year struggles. Second year, he gets back on the horse with it for some reason.
Yeah, that's why I'm not agreeing. Now, I'm not saying the guy who posted it probably didn't have a swarm of people who.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I didn't want Kyle gone in 2015.
No, but let me share some context. The reason the conversation
got elevated to OC.
Let me share some context. The reason that the OC was in such light was mainly because of the war between him and Roddy White to begin the year. That's why the conversation around Kyle Shanahan started so quickly because of do you all remember how the season started?
I remember, I remember
Roddy was talking about and then hold on, remember the game where the first 3 passes were all
right at Roddy.
Right to Roddy. And it was
I remember that game.
He's being petty. it was a whole war between him and Roddy, which sparked where people talk about what I don't remember the OC. That started the whole conversation about Shanahan versus Roddy, and it continued the conversation about Shanahan because the season was going so bad.
Yeah, because
I remember at the end of the year they were talking about running Shanahan out, just like after the Super Bowl, everybody was like, "Get Shanahan the hell up out of here." He was still a great play caller the whole time. He was still talented, but it was the same conversation.
Okay, so now I'm just gonna, like I said, I'm hearing what you're saying, and like you said, I'm gonna say it too. We're not gonna be friends. We're just talking. So we're not trying to be rude. We're just talking Falcons.
We couldn't be friends.
Yeah.
We aren't currently friends.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
We got it, y'all.
But no, it's cool. I got you. What I'm trying to say is though, right now with this season and the way all these bill of goods that were talked about by the Falcons, that they gave to the fans, that they were talking about how the offense was going to be better, how we may have to be patient with the defense. Well, what's funny is like I said, you look at these scores, look at the fact that, we haven't scored 30 points. And last I heard, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that literally we haven't scored 30 points in 2 seasons or 3? Because I'm trying to remember the Matt Ryan games, and I can't remember if they scored. I'm actually trying to pull it up.
I think 30 last year.
Guys, supposed to know this off the top of your head.
Yeah, October. All right.
The Carolina game.
All right.
But then we really haven't had a quarterback. Even Taylor Heineke, 2 games he started, the points per game average was higher than the ones with Ritter. So
October 30th.
30-point game. I don't remember.
October 30th, or I'm sorry, October 3rd. We lost to the Redskins 34-30, and that was with Matt Ryan. And I'm trying to see. I'm pulling up 22. All right, Winston, you're right. You're right.
When we played Carolina,
Winston, 37-34.
He snatched his helmet off. That was Mariota's birthday.
All right,
he had like a 34-yard run.
Yeah,
we averaged more
okay.
per game with Mariota.
That's the game where Buddy dropped the pass, right?
Yeah.
No, that's
a lot. That was San Diego.
Yeah.
He's like took his helmet off, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's the one. Okay. Other than that game,
that was Mariota's birthday. That was Mariota's birthday, and then after that, he took it and ran for 34 yards. And
after that game, don't give me Tampa Bay at the end of the season. Besides those 2 games, any other game we scored 30 points.
Just 2 games out of the 2 games that I found.
No, not Matt Ryan's year. Not Matt Ryan's year.
All right, well then that's 1 game.
We won
1 game.
Hanging points up like that.
Yeah, because I
think we only scored like twice or 3 times over 30. But we were hopping around somewhere between like 24 and 28.
27. So, so here we are in 2023. We're not even, what I'm saying is from looking at the numbers, the offense has not brought it at all. The closest game they scored was 28 that I'm seeing. And that was
San Francisco, right?
No, that was Minnesota. Yeah, Minnesota this year.
Games that Heineke started, he averaged more points per game than Ritter. Which goes to my point that we assume that it's play calling when it could be the people within the system that's actually running the offense. We're talking about an offense led by Ritter, Heineke, and Mariota and a wash mat.
So here's my question. Here's what I'm saying.
They need to pick the guy they want to run their offense.
They have. And here's the thing: quarterback battle.
You don't get that many chances. This gonna be like their fifth guy if they get another
So
quarterback.
who's in
next
charge
year.
of picking the players? Who's in charge of getting the personnel in here?
Well,
I'm gonna go with Terry. Since you said Terry, I'm gonna go with Terry, Keelan. You said
John.
Terry, I'm gonna say Terry.
Hey,
May
I,
I submit?
I
Wait a minute. Who
I
you
think the
looking
guy
for?
out there in the top left corner in the small box, I think he got something to say.
Yeah, we're gonna let John speak, please.
Mr. Coulter. Mr. Coulter. Mr. Coulter.
I remember Mr.
All right.
Cotter.
Now let me throw. I'm gonna throw Allen wrench in some gears right here. And this is an interview with Arthur Smith at the end of 2022.
Oh Lord.
As to why he proceeded with Ritter. And this is Arthur Smith saying he won a lot of games in college and helped Luke Fickell at Cincinnati really change the whole culture of that program. Smith said when asked why Ritter excites Smith entering 2023 during an appearance on the Rich Eisen show. Continues, and I certainly think that experience, you start that many games coming in helps. We certainly saw that early on. We certainly saw that early on as we threw everything we could at him. And he was impressive. And we felt that he was ready to take over at that time of the season. And I thought he did a nice job. Cool, collected under pressure. At the end of the day, you've got to be able to operate on critical third downs, fourth downs, 2-minute situations. And I thought he'd done that pretty well. And certainly there's a lot of things we all can continue to improve, but we've got a lot of faith in him. Now that
Stop laughing.
about all the endorsement that you're going to ever get out of an Arthur Smith, judging by the personality that I see that he exudes.
Yeah.
So, I
would say that is something I have not heard, and it sounds counter to the fact that he was asked directly, is Ritter your QB1 after the season, and he never said anything. As well, he also discussed to Rich Eisen that they had discussions about Lamar Jackson and other quarterbacks in the offseason in an interview. So that's kind of weird to hear that, considering that he also stated that that he pursued, that they looked at other quarterback options in the offseason.
But it's not too weird. He ain't coming from who the hell we talking about. And
No, I get it. What I'm saying is, I agree.
He ain't the best communicator, so him like communicating with us about who he likes his QB1 and all this. Come on, he's not that good at communicating. So I understand he probably didn't communicate his QB desires or whatnot, but that doesn't necessarily mean he didn't have Ritter on the radar.
Yeah, no, I didn't say that. That's not the point that I made. I said we don't know. That was the only statement I made, is that we don't know if it was Terry was gung-ho about him or if Arthur Smith was gung-ho about him. I never said that Arthur Smith didn't want him.
They took his ass. Somebody had to be gung-ho. Yep. I'm going to lean to both of them.
That is my point. I never said that he didn't want him. What I said is we don't know who wanted him. So we can't factually speak that, Arthur Smith wanted him. We don't know. That was my whole point. We don't know.
Judging by these actions, he don't display to him. I don't think he wanted him.
I don't think Terry wanted him. I don't think Arthur Smith wanted him. I think Arthur Blank wanted Desmond Ritter.
Yep.
You think Blank told him to draft a quarterback right here?
Hold on.
I don't think they had
expectations. A quarterback had to be drafted regardless.
Yes.
I don't give a damn how you want to go about it. A quarterback had to be drafted that year. There was an if and buts about it. Now,
yeah, because they screwed up the Deshaun Watson.
We want to go get a 7th round. But a
And
quarterback
you
was
think
coming
when
out
the
of the
third
draft.
round came, you think Blake said, "All right, now I need a quarterback right now. Y'all better get one this round." And they said, "Okay."
Hold on. See, you gotta understand everything that happened that year. That was the year of the Desmond Watson debacle.
Mm-hmm. Deshaun Watson.
But that stretched out for a extended period of time. And
Yeah.
all right. As soon as that happened, we traded Matt Ryan. Okay. The only other quarterback that we had on the roster was Felipe Franks.
Mm-hmm.
So either way you put it, you were going to go get a quarterback.
Deshaun.
Then we end up getting Marcus Mariota right before the draft, like literally right before the draft. All right. Now, are you going into the season with Felipe Frank, who has been cross trained as a tight end year as your number 2, or are you going to go get a actual quarterback?
Okay,
so
Winston.
You had to draft a quarterback.
Winston,
we were going to draft a quarterback that year. Now, where we were going to draft him, that was up to be decided. But then when people sit there and think because we drafted a quarterback and just so happened that he was in the third round that he's supposed to be the savior for the team, no, you got to understand the actual logic behind why we end up getting him in the first place. That's why we press and trade up to go get a quarterback. None of that shit. Because Mariota was supposed to carry us through the year. Desmond Ritter was supposed to sit and learn the game because he's a developmental project. Everybody knew what the fuck he was. Besides the Homer fan, they sit there and think they got down. Anytime a player put on the Falcon logo, he's gonna automatically be a Hall of Famer straight out of the gate. No, understand what it is. He was drafted in the third round. There was 2 quarterbacks drafted in the first 3 rounds. Pickett in the first round at 18 in Pittsburgh. Ritter in the third round. I can't even remember what the fuck his pick was because I ain't even care that much.
It was the second, third round pick.
He was what?
Second, third round pick. And then
he was the second, third round pick.
Yeah, we had 2 third round picks.
He was the second. He was picked towards the end of the third round, right?
Yeah, he was.
Malik Willis and Matt Corral also went in the third round.
Yeah. In the neighborhood. All right. So when you draft a quarterback at that position, you already know what time it is. You are brought in to be backup developmental talent. And if we can keep you around and you sit there and show the progress, then I will give you a shot to be the man in a couple years. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. But the whole reason why he was able to get a starting position in his first year was because fucking Mariota said he did some dumb shit and threw a grenade off his back.
Amen to that.
Only reason. That is literally the only reason. Because when Mariota threw that pass, it got harder and harder to justify his inefficiency of being able to pass the ball over his ability to be an effective runner of the ball.
That's
why
Mariota had to go to the bench, and that's why Ritter got his start. If Mariota had never thrown that shit off his back in another rain game in Carolina, once again, don't forget those facts. They're the exact same shit. That's the same reason why Ritter punk ass got benched, and that's the same reason why Mariota ended up getting benched. It's the exact same thing. A rain game in Carolina. But never thrown that.
Yeah, I know.
Got on the field his first year.
Now, real quick,
he should have played the whole season. He should have played the whole season, get all the kinks out or whatever, and you knew what you had with him. But they already knew what they had with him. And then they try to force it. Like, I understand the logic because it's year 3 of a 3-year rebuild, and maybe us as a fan base sat there and jumped the gun and thought that because it was year 3, then we were supposed to do all these things. Or maybe it was just, hey, this is actually year 3. We only completed 2 years of it. Here's the third year of us still building to complete a 3-year rebuild, which makes sense to go ahead and play Ritter, start Ritter, and continue to build the team. Because if we went got Lamar Jackson, whatever, we would have nowhere close to the roster we would have right now.
Now, let me say this. To Winston's point, let me say this. Now, judging by what Arthur Smith said one thing and did something else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, you
always.
said in this interview with Rich Eisen, Arthur Smith said that Ritter was ready. Now, thing is,
I'm ready.
Ready for what? If you had no intentions of making him QB1, if you had no intentions of making him QB1, what do you mean he ready? Okay, what do you mean he ready? See, so I go back to
Arthur Smith should be talking, John.
yeah, well, see, the thing is, Red and everybody, same thing is, when you say something, I'm gonna hold you to what you said.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna hold you to what you said. All right. It may be double talk. It may be coach speak. It may be trying to blow smoke up my behind. But I'm gonna hold you to what you said about whoever, about yourself, about the players, about the state of the team.
Now, John, he said the last 2 weeks we supposed to win these games.
Yeah.
If he said he was ready, and you're in a playoff run, and Mariota is playing terrible, and Mariota is hurt, if he is ready, then why don't you start the guy that's ready sooner?
So that's the question we all have.
That's part of
That's my point.
That's part of blowing smoke up somebody's behind.
So if he's ready,
your word.
If
and
he's
that's a good
ready,
question, Keelan.
If he's ready, because we were in division was bad, we're in playoff contention. Mariota is struggling. We're going through a losing streak. If he was ready and was the better option, why didn't you take the better option? That's why I think he BSing, because everything else, even from January to March, who is your quarterback? Who is your quarterback? If Desmond QB1, he avoids every single question.
Or
okay,
Keelan. Now let me say
Arthur
this.
Blank. Arthur Blank was the first person to sit and say who was QB1 until the owner meeting. And then Arthur Smith said that and said it a month later. Smith and Fontenot came out at the owners meeting, and that's when they finally declared that he was going to be QB1.
This is after interviewing every single top quarterback at the draft. They interviewed Bryce, they interviewed CJ, they interviewed Anthony Richardson, they interviewed Levis, and they brought them into so they interviewed them at the combine and brought them to Atlanta.
And it's
every single
this year.
But I got to ask this question. I got to ask this question. Could it be that before Arthur Blank made this announcement that he met with Arthur Smith, Fontenot, and they told him this is the man we want to start, and Arthur Blank was just the first one to say it publicly?
No, because that's not the
everything.
That's not the owner's position. That's not the owner position to sit there and announce person.
But that was the main question. That was the main question being asked, though.
That's the owner sitting there making a judgment call off of what he feels.
Now
does
Jerry Jones talk to the media?
Jerry Jones runs his whole team.
I got to ask this question.
There you go.
Is my scenario as to how that take place at least plausible?
It's plausible, but I'm gonna tell you why I think it's unlikely. Because I don't think they have conversations about replacing him, which Arthur Smith admitted to Rich Eisen. I don't think he admitted that they had conversations about Lamar and upgrading the position to Rich Eisen. I don't think you have those conversations if you're sold on him being your QB1.
And well,
I don't think you go and do all those interviews with all the quarterbacks at the combine if you're sold on him being QB1.
Well, here's something that I want
to. You put a lot of stock in what Arthur Smith said.
It could be a lot, but I look at the actions.
Go see though.
All right, so I'm looking, and here's something that I know I've said in the past, and I've heard many people say on the radio and stuff, even though now I don't really listen to these guys. But after the grenade toss, we had 3 other games after that. And that was Chicago, that was Washington, and then that was Pittsburgh. So, and we barely beat Chicago, and then we won or lost against Washington, we lost Pittsburgh, and then we had the bye week, and then we put Ritter. I would have been okay if they would have had Ritter play after the Carolina game. Because at that point, we need to see what we have. Now, this season, and then real quick, to Red's point and everyone talking about that, the way that happened, on March 18th, Deshaun got traded to the Browns. Then March 22nd, the Colts got Matt Ryan. So it was quick, like Winston was saying. It was late in that free agency period. So yeah, I do remember that part, and I don't have a list of who was available at the time to sign as a quarterback, but I did remember how they got Mariota, and I just went, "Oh, this is not going to be good." So my thing is this, guys, going back to looking at all this craziness, to get back at the present day is this. We see a coach who we've all said will tell you one thing but mean another. So my line is this: tell me you're tanking without telling me you're tanking, or tell me you're trying to save your job without saying I need to save my job. And this is what happens.
Hey,
you get embarrassed. Yeah, go ahead.
Now, C-Dub.
Yeah.
If I'm working for you,
I
ain't telling you nothing.
I know.
C-Dub, look, if you call me into the office for a meeting, I ain't coming. You have to come find me in the place.
Like, John, come on now.
Because you might have got rumors and rumblings that John Harris is getting ready to leave, or John Harris don't like how you boss him, and he thinks you disrespect him, all that type of stuff. But see, the thing is, if you call and ask me that, you ask me that straight up, I ain't.
Yeah.
I may
now
not.
Here's John.
What do you say? What, Red?
You remember that scene in The Departed, and I've been
he's going.
Ever since Keelan made that statement about Arthur Smith, maybe didn't say he could get something out of Ritter. You remember when Jack Nicholson said, "I am an artiste. So if you give me a tuba, I can get something out of it." Obviously, Arthur Smith ain't an artiste.
All
right. Hold on.
And then something else. Now let me read. Now the article that I've been quoting is from the NFL. This around the NFL writer, his name is Nick Shook, and this is a preface to what I read earlier. Now this is what he's saying, and you take it for what he says, and take it for what Arthur Smith says.
Is he reputable?
Well, he's writing for the NFL now.
Okay.
All right. Go ahead. I want to hear it.
He said the Atlanta Falcons aren't ignoring the ongoing contract situation regarding Lamar Jackson. They are also not approaching the remainder of the offseason with Jackson atop their wish list. A big reason for Atlanta's decision to proceed without pursuing Jackson is the presence of second-year quarterback Desmond Ritter. The Falcons selected Ritter in the 3rd round of the 2022 draft and handed him the keys to the offense for the final month of his rookie season, watching the Cincinnati product lead Atlanta to 2 wins to close the year. Coach Arthur Smith has seen enough from Ritter to feel comfortable proceeding with him as the team's top option and to decline pursuing Jackson. Now, like I said, take this for whatever mileage you want to use it for.
Yeah. Well, real quick. I would actually comment on something different, but okay, go for it.
Now, I want to go back to something that Keely said earlier. And let me see. Shoot. I might not need to address it because I can't remember how Keely put it.
I can tell you what he said. I can tell you exactly what he said.
Okay.
Keely said, Desmond Ritter suck. Take it to the bank, cash it in, Ritter suck. That's it.
But now, okay. Now,
I said it. I said it. Now, the team said,
hold up. To the point of that article,
the man in the middle speaking for you accurately as to what it was that you said. Because see, now he did it with force. He was waving his hand and tilting his head. So
yeah, I said he was untalented a long time ago. So I've been said that.
Okay.
But in terms of that article, I remember when he went on the Rich Eisen show to talk about that. So and Rich Eisen, because of all the
getting a lot of pub tonight, boy.
He addressed the whole Lamar connection to Atlanta thing, and he was like, "Are y'all?" And he said, "Yeah, we've had the conversations." He was like, and then he proceeded to go on to say, "But that's not something we ultimately decided that we wanted to go with." But why are you having the conversation?
Well, and see that, and the
because essentially you know he's restricted. To my point, he's restricted. You know that the Ravens are ultimately only going to use Lamar as let the league negotiate on their behalf, to set the market. So why would you admit to Rich Eisen that you and them had that conversation about them?
Well, I'm going to
be a viable option.
Okay, I'm going to say that having the conversation is free.
It is.
It's free.
Nobody's having a conversation in Kansas City. Nobody having a conversation in Jacksonville.
Say
because they already have quarterbacks.
Exactly. That's
exactly
the point I just made. Yeah.
Okay.
So if he was resolute that Ritter was the guy, why are you having conversations about other exploring the thought of other?
Keely,
always have conversations.
And I just named some teams that don't. I just named some teams that don't.
If I was solid in my quarterback, I'm not sitting there having a conversation with any quarterback that I deem worthy for a first round pick. Why? Because I'm not looking at a quarterback in the first round pick. That's a waste of my. Because you have a limited amount of interviews that you can have.
Yep.
You can only have 30 interviews.
Okay.
So if I'm set at quarterback position, like they sit there and gave us as a fan base, I'm not sitting there wasting any of my 30 on a first round talent quarterback.
Like Jacksonville is not having a conversation about acquiring Lamar Jackson.
Yeah,
Kansas City is having a conversation
about because they got Patrick Mahomes. Now, if you have a quarterback that you can, or it's like this, if you can upgrade your quarterback position, do you have that conversation? If I'm running a team and my quarterback situation is not the greatest, I'm having the conversation. I'm not signing it. I'm not.
I agree with you, but that's different than we have our guy, which is the statement that John just brought up. And what we've seen that we have a guy who's going to be our QB1. That was I'm not saying it verbatim, but I'm just saying essentially that's what we just heard John intimate that we have our guy. But other teams that have their guy, they're not having that conversation, and they're not interviewing every single top quarterback. And I'm not talking about hearsay. I'm talking about actual actions that we've seen is that they interviewed every single top quarterback at the draft. Jacksonville was not interviewing CJ Stroud just to have exploratory conversation. Go ahead.
Right, let me get in this. Right, but come on, Keely. Even if they said Riddle was their guy, he's still not their guy to the point where you're still not going to be looking to upgrade.
I'm not disagreeing with you, Red. I am just going solely on what John read. I'm just going based on what John read. Okay. I am not disagreeing with you.
Sorry, man. It's already comments tonight based on what folks read, what folks speculated. Y'all going back in time. I don't know who's saying what.
No, John read his statement. I'm responding to what John read.
I got you now. I got you now. We're on the same page now.
Yeah.
Hey, John. Did you by happen chance hear the press conference with Arthur Smith after the loss? And did you hear Mike Tomlin after the loss with the Colts?
Mike Tomlin need to get up out of there.
No.
Okay, hold on.
Now,
all right.
No, I didn't.
I
heard Arthur Smith, but I didn't hear Mike Tomlin.
Well, because the reason why I'm bringing it up, because Tidy was bringing it up too, how Arthur Smith was looking down, wasn't really trying to talk or look at people when he's talking.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay. So I put on Mike Tomlin, and he's got a lot of pressure because people are going off on him and everything, and the team didn't look good at all against the Colts. Within 8 seconds, he goes, we are a poor, flawed team right now. And this is on me. And he's looking at everybody. And that to me.
There they go, red.
And yep. But I'm going to tell you,
right,
if we have to talk for
looking a man in his eye when I tell you we flawed. We are poorly flawed.
A man being a man.
Yeah.
Now. And
Arthur Smith is a real whip.
Go ahead, because I definitely want to address that.
Yeah, because he's looking at everybody, he's addressing everything. And look, he's not coming off as I've done this, but you can feel what he's saying. You can actually go, this man ain't playing around. Right now, he may get fired, but he's going to find a way, or they may let him go, or he may leave, whatever he decides. But right now, right then, he's still looking at those guys and going, hey, we're flawed. We need to fix this. We need to step together. And there's in week 15, and here's the crazy thing. Because some will say, well, what does that have to do with the Falcons? We're not out of it. But yet, you look at our coach who head down. Well, it didn't go that way. And that's what I've said before. The man is not, it's where you look at him, you go, okay, you could talk the talk, but I want to see it. And I don't see the guys wanting to be around. I don't see him, that emotion.
C-Dub.
Mm-hmm.
C-Dub. I've been telling y'all.
Mm-hmm. And by the way, I want Mike Tomlin.
Hey.
He's not coming.
I know, but still, I can want him.
And the reason why this man has a Super Bowl in his pocket from Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh does not fire coaches on whims, knee-jerk reactions, anything of that nature. They've only had 3 coaches in all of their years of being there.
And this would be his first losing season.
I think he's going to step down.
No, I think wait a minute now. I thought he had a winning season last year.
No. This would be the first losing season.
Yeah, this would be his first losing.
This would be his first losing season.
And honestly, I'm like, keep him. You don't want to lose that.
Oh no, he's not going anywhere. He's not
he's
going
not
anywhere.
going anywhere.
I
He's
remember.
been like,
You know
I
why?
remember
Because he
a
got to
like
redeem
14,
himself.
14 seasons or whatever. The man,
He got to
this is his
redeem
first
himself.
season. He's not
When he
going nowhere.
when he get that redemption, then he gonna step down. He gonna come back and let them know, I ain't gonna leave on a losing season. I'm gonna leave on a winning season.
I mean, that's
And
a family ran business.
Imagine
Like,
if they actually got a quarterback.
and let me say this.
Well,
Let me say
that's
this
the
too.
problem.
Now, this isn't the first time that whatever name, that he's ever had some situations go on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember what year it was. He stood in front of everybody. We are not going to accept this. We're going to get this
I
straight.
remember.
Those of them that want to be here will be here. Those of them that don't, they will be gone.
Yeah.
Antonio Brown situation, right?
I can't remember what it was, Red, but I remember him
Mm-hmm.
talking like that. Then on top of that, he's gotten in folks' faces.
Yeah.
He has gotten in people's faces and told them, hey, you know you cost us 5 yards there? And the man said, yeah, that's right, coach. All right, coach. He was getting ready to walk off, and Thomas said, hey, hold up now. You cost us 5 yards now. You cost us 5 yards. Now you got to get your head in the game. Otherwise, you're going to be sitting over here on this bench with me. I'm going to make sure you sit right beside me so that you can sit up here and watch, and I'm going to tell you what's going on this field. Okay? Now, let's go to Arthur Smith. Arthur Smith has been contrite. Arthur Smith has been humbled. Arthur Smith has been broke down ever since he had to bench Ritter the first time. Okay? There was a notable change in the demeanor of Arthur Smith after he benched Ritter that first time because he had to face those same people that he was so arrogant with in the very beginning. Those same reporters, the same public, Twitter, 92.9, even though them jokers are talk like they about to whoop somebody behind on Monday, and then by Wednesday when the coach's interview come, hey,
that's right, John Bird.
Had a rough time and all that.
Yeah,
you know,
can you imagine
them
this
jokers
guy
worse than Two-Face on Batman.
Okay? Can you imagine Arthur Smith with Philly, Boston, or New York media?
Man, they would eat him alive. They would eat him alive.
Jump off a bridge somewhere.
And see that, and then Chief brought it out, and I brought it out too. The man was so messed up, he shaved off his mustache. He couldn't sleep. The man
he grew that joker quick.
He shaved off his mustache. Now, when you do stuff like that, because see, number one, everybody was making a little joke, trying to make a big thing about the mustaches that the defensive coordinator had, that he had, and Arthur, I see you got that mustache this year. Well,
dude,
I decided to change up and have another look and all this type of stuff. But just as soon as adversity hit, he couldn't cover himself. He shaves his mustache off.
The defensive coordinator's mustache is pretty tight, though, man. He's got that really cool, like, handlebar style. But anyway,
he brushes it with a wire brush.
Hey, that's a man thing. I appreciate that.
Excuse me, C-Dub. I'm sorry.
Look like Bennett from Commando.
Hey, C-Dub. In the beard wars, I yield to you, sir.
Hey, this comes from time.
You're like Santa Claus over there.
But this is the thing.
Put a big red hat on your head. Give you a sleigh of 8 reindeer.
But you gotta do that to me.
Only your friends get to do that.
Exactly. Hey, don't worry, John. I'm gonna make sure to get him those railroads so he, it is stocking.
I'm staying out of that. At any rate, like I said, you are dealing with a person that has not faced this type of adversity before in the seat he's in as head coach. See, he could hide behind a Mike Vrabel.
Yeah, because Mike Vrabel takes the bullets.
Yeah, because he's a head coach. He's a head coach. He can hide behind Mike Vrabel. Right
I don't want to do that, man.
He has no one to hide behind.
Yeah.
He has nobody to hide behind. You are the offensive coordinator. You're also supposed to be developing this quarterback. Now, and that was the point I wanted to talk with, discuss with Keely. Now, if you have not proven, now I go like a human resources director. I'm just like a human resources director. I disqualify you at the resume level if you do not give me qualifications for the job that you're applying for on paper. Right there at the resume level.
I told you.
I disqualified Charles London at the resume level because you want to be offensive coordinator, or you're being titled as offensive coordinator, but I don't see any, your title is being quarterback coach, but I'm looking at your resume and I don't see quarterback coach anywhere on your resume. I don't even see where you even played the position anywhere on your resume. Okay. My head coach has made you quarterback coach. So I'm asking, why did my head coach make you quarterback coach when you have a quarterback on the roster, but you got him coaching wide receiver? Then you have an offensive coordinator on the staff that you don't need because you are calling your own plays that you designed in your playbook. So at the resume level, I'm questioning, why do you have this man listed as quarterback coach? Why is he here? The man has never coached quarterbacks. And I'm going, and C-Dub, I'm going to say this.
Don't stop there, John. Keep going.
I'm listening.
I'm going to refer to something that C-Dub said. Now, the saying about the quarterback position is not only the most important position on a football team, it's the most important position in North American sports because of the responsibility that you are entrusted with. The ball has to get in your hands by design.
Every play.
Hand it off to a running back or whether you pass it. The ball in the center is more important than that because the center is the start. Okay? The only thing the center can't do, he can't throw. You know? So because of that, you got to be very, 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 very careful and selective about who you choose to give the QB1 moniker and reins to for your franchise, because that one man can seal your fate and give you all kinds of grief, even though it may not be your problem, or you might not have caused the problem. See, thing is, like I keep saying, and I want everybody to understand me and understand me completely. And if I don't make it clear, I've got to make it clear so you understand. I am not blaming either side totally. I'm not blaming either side totally, but I give a little bit more blame to Arthur Smith by virtue of the fact that you didn't even have a qualified quarterback coach to coach this man to see what you can get out of him. Because if you don't have that, I can't say Ritter is trash with 100% certainty. I can't do it because of the fact of what you as an NFL quarterback coach have to do to groom a quarterback in the NFL. Because even from the number one person in the draft to Mr. Irrelevant, you have drafted by virtue of opinion, by virtue of stock, by virtue of scouting, you have drafted 200 plus of the very best that college has to offer. You drafted them. You integrate them into the best that college has had to offer for years prior. There is a leap from college to the NFL that cannot be transcended to the point where you can say a college team can compete against an NFL team. You can't transcend that. You got the best that college has had to offer, no matter what round you pick it in, that's stock in the NFL every year. So the NFL is way different from college. Now, what has happened is that they have dumbed the NFL down because you got quarterbacks that enter the NFL that have never been under center. You got quarterbacks that have run spread offenses. Okay. They, and you have to, if you draft that quarterback into your system and you have an offensive coordinator and a team philosophy that puts you under center, you got to learn how to play under center. And it is up to that offensive coordinator and quarterback coach to get you ready. You've got to learn something new. And because of that, that's why I put so much weight on the quarterback coach. That's why I put so much weight on the quarterback coach. Go ahead, Keith.
I'm not saying you're wrong at all, but I'm also gonna say that teams have been successful doing it the other way. Brady.
When you say the other way, what do you mean?
So there's this. So all right, we've seen Belichick use defensive coordinators as offensive coordinators. Matt Patricia was his OC, right? And I would say this though, not every single time someone gets a role, it's a 1-for-1 experience thing. There's this thing called transferable skills, because most people first job, they didn't have any experience at doing it, right? But someone will see transferable skills. Even though you were in this role, I see you're good at this, and I think it can translate to this role. So the reason I'm bringing that up is because one of the most successful franchises entrusted a defensive assistant, converted him to offense, and ran off 6 rings. Josh McDaniels started off on defense, and he was Brady's not only quarterback coach but play caller for pretty much most of their string of championships, and he started as a defensive assistant. So something Belichick saw, said, all right, we're going to put you on offense instead, coach on this side of the ball, and then they go on. And I think that's the same. Maybe he saw something in Matt Patricia that says, hey, even though you've been my defensive coordinator, now you've come back home and we're going to try you on offense. I don't know what. That's not to say that it works all the time, but we've seen coaches go from one side of the ball to the other and are successful. I'm not saying that has worked with here. I'm not saying that a running back coach can tell a quarterback what to do. But my point is, it's not uncommon, and we've seen it work. Do I think it was probably the best thing to do? You probably should, if you are a new coach, the best thing you should probably do is get as much experience around you as possible. We saw that. Yeah, and we've seen that in previous regimes where as you had a young coach, but they brought in a lot of coaches that had a lot of tenure and experience.
That's what Dan Campbell did. And that's what Arthur Smith failed to do. I mean, we talked about this before, Keely. Look at his staff up and down. Now, I give him a pass on the defense, even though that's a lot of unknowns too, because the defense is worked this way to top 10. But his damn offensive staff, they're a bunch of nobodies, man. You ain't got no offensive staff or former players or former coaches, especially you being a first-time head coach. Your quarterback coach should have been really somebody that really knew what they were doing.
TJ Gate and Dave Ragone both played in the NFL.
Nobody,
they
man.
didn't do much in the NFL, but they both played in the NFL. Jerry Gray, his assistant head coach, got like over 30 years of coaching experience.
No, he's talking about him. I'm talking about his offensive staff.
And keep in mind, say Josh McDaniels, he played wide receiver in college. He has no NFL experience playing. He came in as he was a graduate assistant at Michigan. Then he was a personnel assistant for the Patriots in 2001, 2002, 2003. He was on the defensive side of the ball. And then the very next year, he's a quarterback coach.
But see, that's how a lot of coaches
Arthur
started
Smith
from one
is the
side of the
head
ball.
guy here.
Oh, go ahead, Rick. Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? Look, what the Patriots did is different. I understand Belichick been moving things around, pieces around. That's Belichick. The Patriots do things differently. What I'm saying is, if we had a guy in charge with Belichick experience, I probably wouldn't question it so much. We got who I believe is a moron in charge. So any decision he makes, I'm gonna question it, and I'm really not gonna put too much weight in it because it's coming from a guy I have no faith in, a guy I don't believe he knows what he's doing. But like you say, I mean, it has worked before, but I believe it's worked with experience behind it before. Whereas we have no experience to trust a running back coach to get a third round quarterback ready. Man, Arthur Smith, it's like just like his whole regime, man. It's just been messing up from day one. From day one, it's been messing up, whether it's the coaching hires, the draft picks, you know, getting to the point where you had to bring in Mariota, you had to draft Ritter because you didn't have enough quarterbacks on your roster. It's just like fuck up after fuck up after fuck up. And like I say, it's a cause and effect for everything. And everything they do, it always come back to bite them right in the ass.
I mean, Chip Kelly had, keep in mind, he was big because of how explosive that offense was at Oregon. He was an offensive line coach, a running back coach, defensive coordinator, running back coach. And
Kelly,
keep in mind, and at Oregon,
Kelly,
he had the most creative, explosive offense like we had ever seen.
I mean, I go with the Kelly.
You know how we were
But if
getting
the Falcons coach was Chip Kelly, I probably wouldn't even trip because at least I know. I bet Chip Kelly would have Ritter looking a little different than Arthur Smith. So it's just the Kelly's no offense.
You want to know why he wouldn't? Because our offense in Oregon, when Chip Kelly was running, Ritter doesn't process fast enough.
He probably wouldn't even have Ritter.
You gotta think about it. All right. In a 24-second play clock in Oregon, we would run 2 plays in 24 seconds.
Yeah, you do.
That's how we was killing people. Because we wouldn't give you enough time to get set. We wouldn't give you enough time to get set. You wouldn't have enough time to substitute. None of that shit. We just run them off at your head. And as soon as we get the first down and you bring somebody else on the jump, we can smack you with something else, get that clock rolling, and then we could catch your ass again. And then we got too much speed out on the field. And that's exactly what Miami is doing now in the NFL. Except they're just a little bit slow on the draw to consecutive play call. In Oregon, we was having like 80 to 90 plays a game. You can get tired of shit. That's exactly what happened to us in the Super Bowl.
So, hey, John, question. Because I'm trying to remember, didn't somebody post in the eye test about like coaches that you would like to see? I remember Lovie Smith being one, but somebody said Anthony Lynn, and I was trying to remember who, but I can't remember.
Now I said Lovie Smith and the other defensive person that's assistant head coach here now.
Okay, Jerry Gray. Well,
Jerry Gray.
I like Brian Flores. I like Flores, but also I was looking over the 49ers coaching staff. Their quarterback coach is Brian Greasy, but also, and then I saw some names that kind of made me go, wow, that's cool. Clay Kubiak and Clint Kubiak. Clay's the assistant quarterback. Huh?
Where are they at?
They're at the 49ers.
San Francisco?
Yeah, San Francisco.
Man, I'll bring any one of those 3 names you just said on.
Well, I remember Anthony Lynn, and I always liked the guy. I just hated that he was with the Chargers because of all the tough luck stuff. But I would love to kind of see what he, at least bring him in. But
he's a running game coordinator.
We don't need a defensive-minded head coach.
No, he works. He works on the offense, though. He's the assistant head coach and running back.
His pedigree is defense.
Now, something else.
Same shit goddamn Patricia doing.
I want them QB boys. That's who I want.
And then Patricia is Philly's defensive coordinator. He just got elevated last week.
I want the QB boys. Them boys, I know them boys know some offense.
And see, we weren't we looking at Gary QB for either
yeah. I remember saying that. I remember saying
his health wasn't good. Bring the bars in. They know something. Yeah, they know they're gonna bring in Danny whole playbook.
And I'm gonna say something to the points that Keely brought up about about what New England was doing.
Or Steve Wilkes, I wouldn't mind him.
It could be a situation kind of like what's going on with us. You had these people listed as this, but they never did their job. Because whenever Josh McDaniels left New England,
he killed a bunch of teams.
Whenever he left, and see that may not have anything to do with anything, but I just noted that anytime, because the thing was, his first assignment was trying to get Tim Tebow straight, and see Tim Tebow had a bad delivery, when he came out of college, and that Joe couldn't throw up if he had a stomachache.
That man wanted him to be the franchise,
and then they just ran him out of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Then they just ran him out of Las Vegas. So, and speaking of that,
fired the GM too.
Yeah. Now, speaking of Las Vegas, Winston, Healy, Red, we need to go out there.
Well, I'm already. That's already been discussed. I'm already going.
Now, do you know what the date is?
You won't know till end of April.
Okay.
So I've already decided I'm doing Vegas and I'm doing Denver.
Okay. Sure. Now I'm definitely doing Vegas, and I'll probably drive out there. I have some other spots I want to go to.
Well, when the schedule drops, we already
y'all talking about for a game. Oh, I thought y'all were talking about
no, we talking for the game. Yeah. I'm sorry, Winston.
Yeah, you already know who you're playing in advance, except for the last game, which determined by where we finish in the
Oh, you're okay. I was like, wait a minute, guys, I'm so lost now.
You just don't know the time.
We already know. But will we know when? Will the dates drop?
Not till April. To the end
of not till April. You got to wait till April.
All right.
It may be April or early May around.
I may need to pay for my ticket. I may need to go and get my ticket then.
All right.
Well, that's what I do for all my away games. I get it when the schedule drops.
Okay.
Because I have no clue.
I'm definitely I'm making plans to go. All right.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah, we can do a show out of it.
Yeah. I'm making plans to go.
Man, if you're gonna drive for Atlanta, I'll ride with you. You call me up.
Hey, you ain't saying nothing but a word.
Well, I ain't.
Well, I got to ride with everybody else. Y'all go in town. He was all over the world. I never know where he in town.
Look, I'm in Winder, so if anybody wants to drive out here, cool, or we meet. But I don't go anywhere usually.
See, I'm thinking I'm going to drive.
Okay.
I got to check what gas is going to be because,
you might be better off, or it might save some money if you buy you a ticket on Spirit.
Man, you know what? Now, Vegas now.
Spirit Airlines. Now, somebody told me I don't know how true it is. But Spirit Airlines say they only put gas in the plane just to get it up in the air, and you just fall to your destination. And there's only one shot at the runway.
All right,
you
guys.
only get one damn shot.
So, guys, I'm looking up the schedule for football for this week. So we got a Thursday night game, which is New Orleans versus Los Angeles. And then Saturday is December 23rd, and it's Cincinnati at Pittsburgh, and then at 4:30, and then Buffalo at Los Angeles Chargers at 8 o'clock. And then there's like a triple header on Christmas, which is Kansas City and Las Vegas at 1:00, Giants and Philly, or Giants and Eagles at 4:30, and then Baltimore and Baltimore at San Francisco. That would be a fun game to watch.
I'm watching the NBA. Them jokers, they saw what the NBA does on Christmas, and they trying to doggone.
Yeah, that's
Man,
what
I'm not gonna lie, but my thing is, I just like watching football. So it's like if I get to watch football, I'll be drawn to football. I always am.
There you go.
I mean, I don't mind. I love the NBA, but I'm just saying.
They done took the NBA's trap because usually that's like one of their biggest viewing days is Christmas Day.
Yeah. And like first it was like a doubleheader, then a triple, and then they got 5 games now on Christmas on the NBA?
I thought it was just 3.
Hold
might
on.
be 5, because they don't.
I'm pulling it up.
It might be 5.
It's 5. It's 5. It's 5.
Gentlemen, the old clock on the wall says it's 2:23, and we've gone for 3 hours and 20 minutes on great discussion and good point.
Keely, I hope we can be friends, man. I really would like to be friends with you. I will say that, though.
I don't have no beef with you personally. I just have beef with
going to Vegas and make
non-facts.
That's cool. Hey, you know what? We can hammer all that later.
Look.
For real. Y'all can do this in y'all private time.
Let me tell every last one of y'all, I don't know who you are. I don't know where you come from. You make me sick. That's what I'm just going to tell you. All of y'all.
And then John looks at us. So you going to the show next week?
All of y'all make me sick. But seriously, look, this would not work without the contributions of each and every one of you guys. And, I enjoy this every week. Every time we get together and talk about stuff, I really enjoy this. And Chief, you need to come on here because I got room for 5 more folk. And the more the merrier. The more the merrier. And even though we have conflicting views, even though we stand on our particular viewpoints or stand on our particular facts, one thing about it is that at the end of the day, we want our football team to win the Super Bowl. We want them to get there. We want them to win it. I, as a native Atlantan from Pittsburgh, they got hall passes to Reynoldstown, South Atlanta, Mechanicsville, where else? Summer Hill, all 4th Ward, 5th Ward, all over the town. Everywhere. I'm a native Atlanta. Me
too, John.
I tailgated right across from Azar's Package Store. I'm trying to tell you, this has been my team ever since 1966. And thing is that when I got that takes the Super Bowl back in 1998, nothing else tastes the same, nothing else tastes better except winning it. Right. And that's my issue. And I'm mad because I'm so far away from it now. That's the thing. We're just so far away from it. So, gentlemen, like I said, thank you. And Winston, got anything?
I'm just looking up something. It said Atlanta Falcons after the game on Sunday. Atlanta's averaging 18.4 points per game on offense, which ranked 26th in the NFL. On defense, the defense ranked 8th, surrendering 19.9 points per game. It's just mind-boggling to me. But thank you everyone for tuning in. We cannot do the show without y'all. Thank everybody that's on here. Before we get out here, everybody plug your stuff. We can start off with Red. Red, let everybody know where they can find you.
Y'all know where to find your boy at Facebook, YouTube, and the Bird Game. Red and Real Sports Show, Saturdays, 11 a.m.
I'm still ain't paying you.
Okay. Then I won't be plugging the eye test, even though you can find it on the eye test.
We don't need you. Ain't nobody need you.
So also the eye test.
See, dog.
All right. Well, you can find me here on the eye test, especially on these wonderful panels, and then also you can find me on C Double on my Facebook page, as well as my YouTube channel, and I believe it's C Double still. So I got to double check, make sure I have everything updated. So yeah, I'm gonna be putting some lives here and there, and just putting my point of view out there. It's all good.
Kill.
I'm just a guy that likes and loves his team. You can just find me on Facebook. Doesn't necessarily plug, but if you are interested in, well, no,
Go ahead.
If you're interested in taking firearm lessons, then reach out to me if you're in the Atlanta area.
If you strictly in the Atlanta area, you're able to go anywhere.
Cool.
What you say? I hear you.
I said you strictly in the Atlanta area, or you able to operate elsewhere.
That man all over the world.
For now, I'm only in the Atlanta area. I mean, it can be, but it's at that point we're talking about transporting things through airports.
No, I'm saying like you got online courses and stuff, or
yeah, but like I like to be hands on. So yeah, for that reason, yeah, I want to be hands on with everyone, make sure that they get the proper training.
I can dig.
Good job.
Hey, they had a show about you. Have gun, we'll travel.
They had a movie about him too.
Shoot. Hey, I wanted to find one of them doggone things that what they call it, a mare's leg. Man, I like that movie.
I would love to go there.
I like that thing, man. Yeah, hey, you know what I'm talking about? Winston and Red.
Hold on, you said you got a mare's leg?
Mare's leg. Look it up.
I would say this:
MARESLEG. Mare's leg.
If and I would extend this to any one of y'all. If y'all have any questions, or if y'all want to talk, or if y'all want just questions about stuff, anything in that field, hey, reach out to me.
All right,
because I just want to make sure that everybody is well equipped. That's all. Because most of the issues with it are with people who are novices,
not equipped.
Exactly.
The biggest thing is people.
Honestly, I'm kind of glad I know you and you local, because, like I said, if I was planning on doing something, you probably be the one I reach out to first. Now,
yeah,
John, man, that John a whole sucker.
Man, I love that thing, man. It looked like a sawed-off shotgun.
Man,
I'll look it up.
That little thing will sit there and throw somebody through a doorknob.
Hey, man,
not even the door, through the doorknob.
That's what Steve McQueen used to use, man.
That's what I said. It's a sucker. One of them John, you flip the handle down.
Now, hey,
that we call it up here.
Now, look at more than one picture. They come in many different designs.
Yeah, it's a sucker.
Yeah,
look at the John like that, and the snap bang, you ain't too far off your original positioning.
You see that big ring that they have around?
The man that bought a knife to a gunfight.
That motherfucker pretty though. Huh?
That what I'm saying, man. That
motherfucker pretty.
Yeah, see, I wish I could.
But
I wish I could put a knife gun together.
I carry a hand phaser, so don't worry about it. I ain't worried about the shit. Hey, gentlemen, Old man got to go to sleep. I got a mediation in the morning, and it's right about 10 o'clock in the morning, and it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, you about to mediate yourself with some coffee and figure out how y'all both gonna wake up.
Boy, you don't want John be showing up at the mediation.
That obvious. Yeah, I got a representative that's working at my former job, and the thing is, since I don't work there no more, I can act a damn fool.
Oh, that's the fun part.
That's the privileges of coming up. Every time.
Gentlemen, everybody in the chat, appreciate it. Come back next week. We'll see you.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I tell you, if it don't look right, it ain't right.